And we're live, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get ready for Hawk Wins!
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Hawk Wins Radio Picture Show. As always, we're here at the beautiful Q4 radio station every single Wednesday, where we are a platform for artists of Chicago's of all mediums. Whether you are a musician or a filmmaker, a puppeteer, a street artist, a pro wrestler, you got a platform right here at Hawk Wins to tell your story, to get on and let the people know what you're all about, what you're made of, baby. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Jack Dwyer.
And I'm Jay Smooth.
It's such a pleasure to have you guys. If you're interested in the show, please hit like, hit subscribe, share the video. It doesn't cost you a single penny, and it means the entire world to us artists. Please share it out. Check out some of our other videos as well, and stay tuned because we got a lot of really fun stuff coming up your way in the very, very near future.
Now, Jack, I got a question for you, man. If you could walk out, if you were a wrestler and you can walk out to any song, what song would it be?
Ooh, man. As much as I want to say "Saint Elmo's Fire" by John Prine, maybe that or like "Cowboy Song" Thin Lizzy. That's like my go-to. That's always my number one played on Spotify. How about you, brother?
You know that George Michael song with the saxophone?
Yep. Sexy sax.
I would just walk in with that.
Would you be like thrusting to like getting sexy with it?
Probably.
We know you love your wind instruments.
Oh yeah. I love anything I can finger.
Hey, waka waka. Wrap your mouth around. Hey, ding ding. Well, again, thank you guys for joining us today, and welcome to Hawk Wins. Today, we have a very, very special guest, two guests indeed. Both of them work for the Superwrestlers. Everybody, please welcome Billy Wack and Alex Fisher.
Ooh.
Hello. Thanks
Hello.
for having us.
Hello, yes. Thank you guys for coming.
Well, welcome to the show, guys. For those of you guys who have never heard of these fellas before, my friend Billy Wack here is the director and writer and host of the Superwrestlers, and Alex Fisher here is a music producer for the Superwrestlers as well, and audio aficionado.
Yeah, I do a lot of the music, and I'm behind the scenes on most of the things. So the fans don't see me, but that's where I like to be. So
Your presence is known, man. When me and Jay went and saw you guys in June, it was so funny. We were walking out of the Concord Music Hall, Danger Man, singing along to everything. It was such an awesome show. We really, really enjoyed it, and we can't wait to get back for the next one.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
When is the next one?
It's Sunday, September 14th at the Concord Music Hall.
Shout out Concord.
Yeah, for all you West Siders out there, that is the big theater with the Robin Williams Genie mural on the side. It's smack dab in between Logan Square and Wicker Park. Get your tickets. Get their tickets because they go fast.
They do
go fast. You guys have sold it out.
We've been selling out, which is wild. Our capacity is a little over 600. So.
Nice.
Damn. And I think tonight we're releasing all of our new graphics and stuff like that. We're gonna have all our new media up. So and you'll be able to get your tickets. You'll be able to get your tickets tonight or tomorrow. You can get them tomorrow.
Oh wow!
You can get them at the door. You can get them. Just get them is all I say. Just get your tickets.
Get them while they're hot, baby.
Yeah.
And to do that, if you go down in the description below, we do have Superwrestlers tagged down there. That'll have a link to their website and everything. Check out more about the Superwrestlers. And I mean, while we got you guys, take us back. How did Superwrestlers all begin?
Whew. All right. So I work at the Concord Music Hall, and there was a boxing show there. And we liked the look of it. We liked the look of it in the room. And then they said to me, they're like, well, you do wrestling. Would you like to do a wrestling show here? And I said, yes, if we can do it on my terms. Which my terms were just, let me do the storyline. Let me do the characters for it. Little did we know we're going to have Alex here doing the music. We didn't know that at the time. But so Concord has us doing it now. And we're on our 10th show. And it's been working. It's been working.
And it actually got held back because of COVID, too. So it was supposed to start years ago, and then because COVID happened, we all kind of believed that we were able to build it up a little bit better.
Yeah. So actually, COVID was like the best thing that happened to us. Otherwise, we would have launched it a little too early. It needed a couple more years to simmer, like creatively, and it did. And here's where we are. So we're selling it out now. We're selling it out.
Yeah, baby. And I think that's, a really good thing that, I think a lot of artists will vibe with, that COVID in a way was a good kind of reset button, a good way for you to kind of rebundle your cards a little bit and see, what's working, what you want to work on. And you can tell the storyline that you guys have is so fun and it's so strange and wacky and wild. I just want to know, like, how did you guys come up with the idea of making the Earth's strangest wrestling show?
So, being a wrestling fan for years, I kind of got sick of watching the same old stuff. And the same old stuff is guys fighting over a belt, a championship belt. And they'll cut promos and they'll fight and they'll attack each other and they'll attack each other in the parking lot and they'll do whatever just so they can get in position for this belt. And then the idea came to me that, like, well, once a guy gets the belt, like, what does he really do with it afterwards? Like, once you're the champion, what do you do? Well, nothing. Then you just have that belt and you defend it. But what does the belt really do for you? Does it give you more money? Does it give you more power? It seems like more guys just want to fight you if you have the belt. So I was like, it all comes down to the belt, and the whole thing about, wrestling is a bunch of guys in their underwear fighting over a belt, that whole thing. Why is it a belt? Why isn't it a championship hat or a championship bicycle that they got to ride out to the ring? Why is it like a glove, or why is it a belt, So what if the belt itself was its own character? What if the belt fell off a spaceship or fell from space and landed in we found it and we're like, oh, I don't know what it is, let's just use this. But it starts to give off powers and the people around it get powers, and all the wrestlers that are wrestling for it want it to cure a disease or do something. Like, so there's like a reason for it. And like with any MacGuffin in any movie, you have something that the guys are really fighting for and they all need it for some weird reason. We had a guy, Shogun, and he mysteriously got superpowers and he didn't know where they came from. But when he was around the prize, it would calm down his superpowers and he could spend more time learning about the powers. And Danger Mask, he just wants to be able to take his mask off. It's a curse that he has this mask on. So if he can be near the prize, maybe it'll let him take the mask off. We have a guy named Pubic Moose whose personal fur just grows too much, but he figures if he can get the prize, maybe it'll calm down the fur growing. So it's all these weird reasons, and it's this magical device as far as we know right now. But, it's an evolving story, like where did the prize come from and this and that. We also have like a mysterious promoter named Catalyst Tambor, and he's got a light a bucket head, and he tells us what to do. He tells us what's going on the shows. So as long as the checks keep going through, which they do, we're good.
And we think he's in a different dimension. Sometimes he shows up and gives people directions or says he does or doesn't want something to do, but we're not quite sure where he comes from.
So we're chasing the mysteries of the Super Wrestlers. So there's always more to come.
And you guys have other belts than that as well. I was watching earlier today. You have a belt for the worst wrestler.
For the worst wrestler. And I'm glad, but I can't believe nobody else does this. And this ties into the thing. If you have a championship belt, it's for the best guy. He beat everybody. He gets this belt. Well, what about the worst guy? We just assume the rankings, like whoever's fighting the champion, he must be the number one contender. But let's find out about the rest of the roster and how they rank. And why not have this like super ugly, humiliating, it's got a smiley face and a squeaky horn and a copy of Rob Liefeld's Youngblood #1, like the worst comic book ever. If you're not familiar, Google it. Jesus. The art is terrible. The writing is terrible. It's the worst. Rob Liefeld, you're terrible. You're a millionaire and you made millions of dollars off of this book, but it's crap. Also, there's an Xbox 360 game on the belt. It's like a Burger King. Burger King had tie-in games anyway. So we just put a bunch of junk on this belt, and it's for the worst guy. It's the hot potato belt.
Hot potato belt.
And the only way you can get rid of it is if you beat somebody, you pass it off to them.
And now Catalyst Tambor says you can do that anytime during a show, right?
24/7 or during a show, yeah.
Oh, you can hand off the worst wrestling?
You got to pin somebody.
So it's a new rule. You can pin somebody, but it's from the opening bell to the end of the night. And they can go out and pin someone in the audience if they want to. So,
damn.
Yeah.
And all the wrestlers that you guys bring on to are so funny in their own way, and the storyline behind them is really funny. Canadad, you got Pubic Moose, Stephen Flo, Bill Cosplay, just to name a few. Now, do you guys come up with these ideas, or do they come up and present them to you before they get in? Like, how does a wrestler become a part of the Super Wrestlers?
It's pretty much in-house, and by that, I mean, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention our real influence and our sponsor, Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Good old PBR.
So we'll have a few Pabst Blue Ribbon beers, and we'll just start coming up with names, and then they'll go on the board, on the wall, and then people will come over and be like, "Who's gonna be Pastor Bastard?" Like, I don't know. So it's pretty much like that. We have a long list of names, and amongst our friends and wrestling people, we'll pitch these names. So there is never any shortage of super wrestlers on the way. There are always new characters either being developed or you know.
There's so many we might have to kill a couple off.
We might. When we've been doing that, we've had characters die or stuff happen to them. We're not afraid to kill.
We're not
wrestlers.
afraid to kill you.
We're not afraid to kill them.
So it's all in house, and do these guys take it then and kind of run with it, and then make kind of develop the character, or do you guys kind of guide and direct them along that way?
Well, we guide and direct them a little bit. So like we'll come up with a name. Someone will be like, "I would like to be that guy," and then my wife will come up with a costume for them. She does all of our costuming. And
Stephen Flo was talking about her. Like,
Stephen Flo, yeah.
Show. He said that she worked on Superman's costume
She worked,
as well.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
She worked on everything. She worked on Dark Knight. She's like a Forrest
I think
Gump.
she worked with Jesse Smollett at one point.
She did. She did. Not at the infamous time, but yes. Yeah, she does everything.
Damn. So how much? What other parts does she bring to the table? Because obviously it takes a tribe of you guys to do all this. Who else is behind the scenes making this happen?
There's me. There's CM Venom, who is also my co-writer. Alex Fisher here does the music, and Melissa Grisbeck does the costume. So it takes a little bit of a village, and then we have the full support of the Concord Music Hall, the fine people at Concord Music Hall. So
Yeah, and even like I used to work there too. Me and Larry, Billy met before, and our guy Troy, who works there as stage manager, he's even we'll collaborate. Like my band does some of the songs, Caveat Empire. Me and Billy have done a couple as our Better Predator, and then like Siphon has a rap song that I made the track to, but Troy, who's a production manager at Concord, he actually raps on that. So.
So everything is like in-house with friends and coworkers and stuff like that, and it's really just shaping up to be like this great. It's creatively, it's great. Some of the best times ever are like sitting around planning it, coming up with new characters, coming up with what they could do, why they want the prize. Just reverse engineering stuff like that, coming up with characters. I'm having the time of my life. Seriously, it's the greatest.
It looks like it, man. I think that's half the fun of it, is watching you guys go out there and have a fucking ball, and and everybody really receives that well. Of like, damn, like that. This looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
This looks like such a great party. And Alex, your music is so fun, man. It is up on Spotify for those of you guys want to listen to it. What's the writing process like for that when a new character comes on board and you start writing up their theme song?
Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Blue Ribbon's part of it. But
Yeah, baby.
it's kind of different for everyone. Like, we had songs that were made years ago that we've used, like Business Puppy. That's a song that me and Billy made years ago and was just like, this song called Business. That'll work. A lot of them sometimes get the idea for the character, see the guy, and just start messing with stuff. And I'll send it to Billy, and he'll be like, yeah. And I'll just send a couple more things. That's it. Keep working on that, So it's always different. I mean, the Stephen Flo thing was his idea, and we just sang gibberish over. That's me and him singing gibberish over the backing track. So it comes from all angles. Like I said, like sometimes I'll ask my band, who are better musicians than me, to, hey, help me come up with this. Like Rydal and Christian Sugarsmith, those are Caveat Empire. So a little bit of everything.
Damn. It's fun too, man. You go through the whole playlist and you really hit every genre. You do 8-bit soundtracks, you do video game, you do triumphant stuff, you do rock, a little bit of everything. It's so fun, man. My question for you guys, when Stephen Flo really kind of blew up on the internet, like what was the reception of that like for you guys when you got guys like Bill Burr going up and talking about him on his podcast? Like that was such a really cool big thing for you guys. What was the reaction like?
It was really cool because the night that happened, the night of the show, like we came back, we're at the house, and Stephen Flow's looking at his phone, and he's like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "This has 120,000 likes," and I was like, "Jesus Christ, that just happened a couple hours ago! Wow!"
Damn.
And that's the power of the internet. And then by the next morning, it was like 270,000 likes, and then with everything, when it was all said and done, the thing had probably been watched like 52 million times, which is just like that's just amazing to think that. And I remember when we did it, we were 6 PBRs deep.
And I was kind of thinking, like, really? No one's going to like this.
People love it.
And it was their favorite thing.
We didn't know. We were like, because Stephen Flow, he was going to be in a match. There was going to be 3 guys. He was going to be one of the guys. Like, let's just bust out a song. Well, what should it do? Well, let's just literally like sort of cover Even Flow and just sing Stephen Flow. Anything else? No, just kind of that over and over and over. He's only going to come out. It's going to be a one shot. It's going to be a one shot. I didn't even know Stephen Flow was going to be, doing it. What do I know? I don't know anything.
Thanks to Weird Al, too. You can do stuff like that.
Dude, I had the whole lyrics in my head for like 2 weeks straight. Just Stephen Flow. That's the only thing I was thinking about.
And the gibberish is so funny too, right? Especially for a lot of Chicagoans, because he's, he's a Chicago guy. So like, so many people are just singing in their head, like Jay was saying.
Stephen Flow. I woke up. That's the first thing.
Stephen Flow somewhere. I don't know where he is though. Stephen. That's probably the only actual line.
Yeah. I don't know where he is though. He's somewhere. I don't know where he is though. Stephen Flow. Those are the lyrics.
He's up through the air.
Yeah.
He's here, Stephen Flow. Dude, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's Super Wrestlers is so fun. I'm a guy who I grew up in essentially the backseat of a car, and my parents were just force feeding me toys and action figures. So I'm staring at the back of the package, collect them all, and I'm looking at all the guys, and I'm like, one day I want to create a whole bunch of this type of thing, whether it's Transformers or G.I. Joe, Star Wars, whatever, all that stuff. Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe is a big inspiration for me as far as that stuff. Every guy there, you got the sea creature, and you got the beast guy, and you got the Skeletor guy, and I just wanted to have one of those, or all of those, like in a wrestling company. And again, they were fighting to get into Castle Grayskull, so like let's just fight for this piece of space junk or something, just make it weird. And by the fact that we call it Earth's strangest pro wrestling company, it affords us the ability, because if we do something really, really stupid, we can just be like, well, it's the Earth's strangest pro wrestling company.
We meant to do it.
We meant to do that.
Everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Now, what is the strangest thing that you've seen on the Earth's Strangest Wrestling show?
Oh, Crucifix, maybe?
Oh.
Crucifix?
Really?
I mean, maybe. What do you got?
I was going to think about it, but you came up with that really fast.
We had, it's one of the funniest things. So there was a gag that Porch Pirate did. He brings out Amazon packages, and at one show he gifted his opponent a dildo, and they did some things with it, right? And then the show after that, he fought Vlad, who was at the time a vampire, is now a werewolf. And the bit was he took 2 dildos and made a crucifix. And it actually worked.
It actually worked.
Yeah.
I guess you can do that to a vampire.
It's very creative. Like, the wrestlers really take it and run
Some
with
hardwood in the shape of a cross, that'll do it.
Although, I mean, seriously, if somebody came at me with 2 rubber dicks like
I'd be
that,
scared.
I also
Yeah.
would back off.
You don't know where they've been.
Yeah.
I just wanted to wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I saw him take it out of the package, but I'm still like, I don't know where it's been.
Could have been a return.
I love those little
Could've been a
surprises
return.
because I'm sitting on the side of the stage playing, entrance music and stuff, and there's always one part of the show where, whether it's a wrestling move, like when Stephen Flow picked up Destructo at the last one, and I literally jump out of my seat like, whoa, or I get surprised with a crucifix, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Alex has his fingers on all of the buttons, I guess. You have all the buttons, but you have no wrestling background.
No.
Which is amazing. You just walk in with like a clear vision of it. I know guys are like talking wrestling terms and shit like that, and you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna do what I do here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm able to keep up, but I'm still learning.
And I think you're learning, but I think you also work on one of the most complicated wrestling shows.
Yeah,
There's a lot of cues.
We
A lot
kind
of
of do
audio,
that to
a lot of
ourselves,
cues, yeah.
but with pleasure.
Yeah.
Make it complicated. I don't want to fall asleep back there.
Sure. And even like the intermission stuff, the video and the music syncs. Is that you as
That's
well?
That's all him. He puts that
I'm just
together.
trying to create a vibe, you know.
It is a vibe.
We take 2 15-minute intermissions and just pack them with something interesting, some interesting music or whatever. We could
Commercials.
We could show like a cartoon or something, but no, let's just keep people vibing, you know.
It's fun too. The crossovers are so fun. You get music crossovers, you get a nice visual, and it's hilarious too. Like one of the intros, you were like, you guys were all laughing at that 9/11 joke.
Yeah.
I forgot what the joke was, but everyone's like, ooh, yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing too. Our audience, it's like, not like I have like a stage fright or anything like that, but when I look out, there's just these blinding lights. So it sort of helps because I just look out at the blinding lights and I know that there's people out there. So I'll just talk and I'll hear stuff and I will answer, I will interact. But yeah, our crowd is pretty edgy in a fun way, But I appreciate that.
You got any funny fan interactions? Any people that stand out?
Well, we do have a super fan that if you watch any of the videos, you can hear them. They are yelling rather loudly and
Fuck that guy. I hate that guy.
That guy needs to die. Fucking kill that guy. And sometimes we will sort of cut away and then we do a graphic that is just text of them yelling. So inevitably, anybody can become part of the Super Wrestlers. Just yell loud enough and you're on the video. So.
Man, because that's such a fun aspect of wrestling shows. Just hearing the chirping that audience is throwing at these. You guys got to have some tough skin, man.
All night long, like our audience, like they'll go for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. The energy, they just keep with it, which is amazing. I know I would get tired.
It's contagious, man. When you hear like one funny thing next to, and you're like, oh man, I gotta like make fun of that guy's man bun now, or do something funnier, you know? It's contagious, and then it teams up the crowd because it's like, oh, it's us against them now in a way.
To us, I think the rowdier the crowd is, the better.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Talk shit.
Yeah.
What makes a really great crowd for wrestling then? What's like if you were to have like an ideal crowd, what would it be? Is it a lot of chants? Is it a lot of chirps? Is it people going nuts?
It's honestly, it's whatever our crowd does throughout the whole night. The energy level stays high. They talk all night. They yell all night. They're into the good guys and they're giving hell to the bad guys, like all night.
Good witty rants too.
Good
chants.
stuff. Good chants. We'll hear a good chant, and sometimes the chant has changed the course of what we're doing. Because we're like, oh my god, they said that about that. I never noticed that, or like I didn't know he had a thing on his shirt that they were yelling about. Like, and then we'll make it something. Like, we will lean into it, you know.
Everybody thinks Danger Mask is Italian because he does this.
Yeah.
And we're still not sure because we've never seen his face. But, you know, people yell, where's the gabagool? When he comes out.
Gabagool.
All right.
Yeah, you'll hear people yelling at Danger Mask.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Danger Mask. He's not Italian.
That's funny, man. Oh man, you know, my next question for you guys about the audience, and you know, I think you briefly touched on it. How much of the audience participation does veer the course of these characters? Because like, you might have a guy come out as a heel, and he might leave the ring as the babyface or the ultimate hero. You know, has there ever been a surprise shift like that for you guys, where the audience turned?
Probably nothing that jumps out immediately, but I will say this: the first time that Christian Sugarsmith, our candy guy, the first time he came out, I'm standing in the ring, and he's wrestling Destructo. I'm standing there with Destructo, and this wall of sound just blasted to the point where I look at Destructo and I'm like, holy shit! And like we both kind of got like goosebumps because the song was hitting, the lights were hitting. He's doing his, Christian Sugar's was doing the dance and the stuff he does. Everything was just working. He's throwing out candy. I'm like, this is amazing. We were sold out that night, so everybody was like into it. It was just a great experience.
I feel like Jordan Cross is liked more now than at the beginning, and I think that just naturally happened. Like, people didn't like him, and then slowly, because of the story, because of him, whatever it was, now he's like a hero kind of guy.
Sure. I mean, the thing of it is we were given the option to do it, and I thought it was going to be like a one and done. It was like, well, let's try to do something crazy. Let's do one show. Let's have a tournament. And it was like halfway through the first show, they come running over and they're like, we can do a second one. And I was like, oh shit, okay, all right. So then we really started to like think about the characters and stuff a little bit more. But yeah, so again, we were gonna just do one, and we'll be doing our 10th on September 14th.
Damn. And they're all at the Congress Hall?
Concord Music Hall. Yeah,
Music Hall.
Very close. They're close though.
Yeah, real close.
It's such a cool venue too. Even like being in the upstairs balcony area, there's really not a bad seat in the entire house. It's a really, really great venue for what you guys do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's perfect. And I mean, ideally, yes, you would grow out of it and do something bigger. But I really like where we are right now. I really like the production and all the technical stuff that we can do.
Yeah, the team there takes care of us too, and we know the lighting guy, the sound guy, Eric Loff, awesome, shout out. And Loff is a super creative lighting guy, and he's one of those guys where he's gonna paint with his lights and really get into it. Like he's really pumped about what it is and not just doing the job. So it's like there's all these pluses, and it's kind of like a team family kind of thing. I know it's lame to say when you're at work and it's family, but it's not really like work. So that's one of the pluses of Concord.
And it's also easy now too, because before the first show, it was like trying to explain to like some people who don't do wrestling and be like, well, then this could happen, and then this might happen, and then we'll do this, and they were like, okay, well, we'll try. And now again, going into the shows now, it's like, this is gonna happen. Okay, cool. Do you want me to do that? Like everybody knows. We know the characters. We know the storylines. Before the first show and trying to explain it,
you kind of had to see it to get it.
You have to see it to get it. This is sort of an analogy, a terrible analogy, but like George Lucas trying to explain to people. Imagine a world where there's no Star Wars, and he's like, "Yeah, the Jawas, they're gonna be like," and they're like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." That was kind of like me. Like, so there's gonna be this guy, and he's gonna have this thing, and they're like, "Okay, do I hit a button, or is something fall from the ceiling?" Like nobody knew. But now, thankfully, like I said, 10th show, it's so much easier to plan them out, map them out. And
it's also funny when you tell people about characters before it happens. Like, who would have thought Pubic Moose was going to be such a fan favorite? Like, it sounded like such a wild idea, And
that was another one. Pubic Moose was like a name on the wall, and who's going to be Pubic Moose? You? Oh yeah, sweet. That's what I wanted. All right, So if you have something like that, and someone offers to do it, right this way, and the fact that he knocks it out of the park, Pubic Moose, great, just absolutely great.
Great crowd interaction. Throws his pubes on everybody. It's so fun.
Devastating finishing move there he's got.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to face the pubes either, man. That's
But see, that harkens back to like the 80s WWF. Like Jake the Snake, he'd come out, beat the guy, put a snake on him. Like completely illegal, completely unethical. You could do anything like that today, but we do, and we've just changed the snake to pubic hair.
Yes. So, poor stage-hands with their brooms.
Oh no.
Yeah, you don't want PETA after you. Pubic PETA. So the show is so wild, and it's like you say, it's the strangest show. How, for those who have never watched Super Wrestlers before, how would you define it?
I would say, and this was sort of another reason for it was you can appeal to the wrestling fan. You can appeal to the guy in the black T-shirt who, Austin 316 or NWO or whatever, the wrestling fan guy. But there's always, that guy has a girlfriend, okay? And when that guy's like, oh, I'm going to go to the wrestling show, she's going to be like, that fucking suck. You suck. Wrestling sucks or whatever. So I was like, what if we design this for somebody that doesn't give a shit about wrestling? Like, they're not a fan. They don't need to know the moves. They don't need to know anything. We don't do commentary so far. So we don't have anybody calling the moves. I kind of out there and I'm the host and I'll say like, oh, Jesus Christ, look at, he's got pubic hair or something, But we're not like on the sports statistics, wrestling holds, 5-star match. We don't, it's not to say these guys aren't great wrestlers, but that's not what we're doing here. We're trying to appeal to the person that doesn't give a shit about pro wrestling, which would be the girlfriend or the co-worker that got dragged to this thing. And then when they get there, they're like, well, holy shit, the music's cool, the vibe is cool, the lights are cool. They've got Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
Yep, on sale.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to go, because the wrestling fan will come anyway. The guy in the black T-shirt will come. Wrestling, I'm there. If you can get his girlfriend, and if you can get his girlfriend to be like, hey, when's the next one? I'll go with you to that. The camera pans past the audience, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Jesus, I think we have 60% women in the audience.
Yeah, it's a good mix. It's a really good
And
mix.
especially
Young, old, women, men.
The video that dropped today, there's a video, it's like part 2 of the last show. You see Pubic Moose. He's coming out to the ring and he's throwing pubic hair out. And the camera pans past, and I was like, there's a lot of girls here. And they're excited. They're excited to get pubic hair thrown at them. So I'm like, we're doing something right. We're just
When you get girls excited about getting fake pubic hair thrown at them, you did something right.
Oh, give it to me. Yeah, like so. Yeah, so they're into that. So again,
It's a wrestling show for people who don't care about wrestling.
exactly. I guess I probably could have said that.
No.
I went off on this whole.
I summarized it for you.
Thanks.
That's what
Thanks,
I do
pal.
there.
Because it is,
You said you were going to do it. It's funny. All right.
because it very much is like, I maybe, I would like your feedback on this. It very much is like sports, entertainment, as well as clowning in a way. It's very clown-like. Would you agree or disagree?
I don't know about clowns really. I mean, I've seen clowns. Yeah, it's
Maybe
a
not
little
like clown,
It's
honk, honk,
I'd say
but-
circusy, maybe. It's
Circusy.
a little circusy.
Circusy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would say that, yeah.
It's like kind of sideshowy, maybe. It's more of a production and theatrical than I think most wrestling shows are.
Totally.
At least, especially a lot of the ones, like, because when he was first going to do this, he would send me, like, here's what some of the guys around here are doing. And, a lot of these shows are, like, in a gym, all the lights are on. And it is great for what it is, but I was always thinking, like, that's what we're doing? And then when we finally got the whole first one together, it's like, oh, no, this is what we're doing. It's more rock and roll. It's more of a production, more theatrics.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to create a new pro wrestling IP, intellectual property with action figures and stuff, and maybe in a year or so. I just want to make a, just that sort of thing. Like back in the day when, before Monday Night Raw started, way back in the 90s, it was, they did a Shotgun Saturday Night, which was WWF would go into like some nightclub or bar and do like this risque show or something like that, and they weren't really that bad. But I saw that, and I was like, well, this is what I want to do. It doesn't need to be like 73,000 sold, which the money would be great. But look, if you can get a room full of people that like give a shit about what you're doing right there, and it looks good and it sounds good and everybody's cool, just give me that for the rest of my life. I don't need to sell out an arena. Just give me something cool in the city.
Maybe once, maybe just once, though. Maybe,
I mean, sure.
the big final last one sell out.
Sure.
Make $20 million. Give it all to charity.
But if it's
for
the
it.
last, if it's the last one, we can get to charity. Charity begins at home, pal.
I'm charity. I need it.
Oh man, it is really an amazing show. Where would you guys like to see it? 5-10 years down the line.
Probably like just a slightly bigger venue, just to accommodate more. But again, the reason for that would be that we are selling it out. We're making
like
money.
plus selling it out.
Plus selling it out. But what I would do is just make the things bigger. The video wall would be bigger, and
and also
that stuff.
a big change. Like when you normally go to a show at Concord, there's no seats. But since it's a wrestling show, we take up a lot of the capacity with seats. Mm-hmm. So in theory, if you took those seats away, we could fit more people. Mm-hmm. So it'd be cool if it got to the point to where it was selling out. If you got a venue where you could just have more seats, because people like those seats a lot. They go quick. So that'd be cool, like double the size, but still not full cap because it's still more intimate with the seating.
Right.
Before you guys sold out Concord and stuff, how much marketing went into doing this kind of stuff?
Well, there's a marketing team at Concord, and they'll do the posters and stuff like that, and then we'll just like hit comic shops and record shops and places that we would want people from to come, and then I'll do commercials. I'll do all the commercials for the shows leading up to that, and we would bust one out, maybe one a week or something like that, and it's clips from the previous show, but we just kind of bombard YouTube and stuff, and then local shops with like the flyers and things like that.
And you guys are doing your 10th show now?
10.
What's like one lesson that you've learned from your first show up to now your 10th show, now that you guys are selling out Concord and stuff like that?
That's a good
It's a
question.
good question. It sounds really stupid to say I haven't learned anything in these past years.
Or maybe you haven't. Maybe you just.
I learned at the first show that when Whack is out there and he's going to announce the next guy, he doesn't necessarily say their name and bring out our next opponent. Because the first time he went out at the first show, I think we put this show up. It's kind of actually, it was funny. It seemed like a bit. Because I was waiting for him to say the person's name. And then he's just like, and I was like, oh, he wants me to play the song. So now it's like getting that flow with him out there. That was something that I had to kind of learn after the first
No
show.
wrestling background. So we didn't communicate. Like, yeah, hit the music, and then I'll talk over the music as the guy's coming out. So there was just this silence, and I was like, hit the music so I can start talking. But I didn't say to him that. So we did, But again, that's
Also giving it a beat. Because sometimes it, like, you got to really pay attention and you think there's a 3 count. Like, one time I accidentally hit the bell early and the ref's like, no. But it's like, everything's going so fast and I have other cues to worry about. So I was like, oh, he did it. And it was like, no. And we had to be like, oh, no, that was a false alarm.
we'll fix it in post.
Only did it once. Learn my lesson.
Wise lesson learned.
But I don't know what I don't know what I've learned in the past 2 years of this.
Girls go crazy for a sharp-dressed man. His outfits are the best, though.
They sure are.
I've been doing indie wrestling for a real long time. It's only the past 2 years that it's been Superwrestlers. Before that, I did a thing called Lunatic Wrestling Federation, and it was one of those. It started in the backyard, and we did it for a couple of years. And we obviously didn't have a ring, so we weren't like really wrestling. We were punching and kicking and throwing around, but we worked on the promos and the characters. So even like when we were kids, we were doing that, and we did that for a few years in the backyard, and then we started to make some money, and we bought a ring, and then we got everything licensed and trademarked, and then the Lunatic Wrestling Federation like ran for like 6 or 7 years after that, like doing real shows, and it was right towards the end of the state commission. There used to be this governing body in the state of Illinois, the State Athletic Wrestling and Boxing Commission. And what they did was they would oversee boxing matches and then some local wrestling shows. And what they would do is they would come in at, like, say, your intermission and just take 10% of your gate. Because the money went, that's the state of Illinois, pal. That's what you do, right? And I was like, man, this sucks. This is literally taking 10% each time. And then Vince McMahon, because he's also running in Illinois, he was like, essentially he petitioned to get rid of the state commission, because if I'm getting 10% of my gate taken away, imagine what 10% of his gate is, like, say, the Rosemont Horizon or whatever it's called, All-State. So he actually fought, and it went away. The state athletic commission went away. And when that went away, so did all the rules and regulations, and then every jerk that could get their hands on a wrestling ring was suddenly a wrestling promoter. It was lawless now. So the 3 companies, and mine being one of them at the time, we were just like, here comes everybody. And it was like 2003, 2004. Now there's like 12 wrestling companies when there used to just be like 3.
Yeah.
It's like, so we kind of like just stepped out of it for a while. And I ended up working for like a lot of the local companies around here. And then after a while, it was like, let's just do the Superwrestlers now. So it's not my first time. It's not my first rodeo. But the Superwrestlers it's just a bigger deal. It's just a bigger engine,
And so you mentioned that you started doing stuff in your backyard and stuff. And then you also mentioned something about CM Punk. Would you mind saying that story at all?
Yeah, he was just one of the guys in the backyard. Like, I grew up with him. He was the youngest kid, and he's like, can I be a wrestler? And I was like, do you want to be a good guy or a bad guy? And he's like, I want to be a heel. Oh, you've been reading our newsletter. Okay, well, a bad kid would be a punk, so we'll just call you the Punk. And then there was Venom, a guy on the LWF roster, and he became CM Venom, Chick Magnet Venom. And then one night it was like, well, Phil, why don't you team with Venom? And well, if he's CM Venom, that'll make you CM Punk. And that's literally how I don't know what he tells, if he has a different alternate story or something like that, but I don't know.
So in a way, you kind of created that name.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
It's a nice 3-syllable chantable name. CM Punk. CM Punk. Good for him. If I got 10% of his T-shirt sales,
That would, oh, shit.
I never knew it was Chick Magnet.
it's Chick Magnet, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he'll say it's a million other different things. But and again, I haven't spoken to him in like 20-something years. But we were good friends. We were good friends for a while. But the wrestling, watch out, Alex. The wrestling business will get you in fights with your friends, and you'll never talk to them again.
I'll toughen you up, Ken.
You think it's just like him having more money and stuff? Just like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna leave.
I think I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know. It could be like the classic case of like, those people are in my rear view mirror. I don't need them anymore. I don't want to know about them. But we're all still alive, and we're all still here, and we all still remember.
Yeah.
You know, and there's video. You existed. We, you know, whatever.
Did you come up with any other wrestlers that made a big splash?
There's a lot of indie guys now, or some indie guys that came through. We have probably inspired people that started their own companies or been wrestlers, stuff like that. I hear from time to time guys like, "Oh, it was because of you," and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you involved in the circus. You know,
You're welcome for the back pain.
right? Welcome to the back
I
pain.
don't even wrestle, and I have the worst back pain right now.
That's age, brother. Once you turn 30, all the check engine
Ooh,
lights
wait
come
till
on, man.
40.
Oof. I can wait. I can wait. I can wait. Now, I had a question about the writer's room for the Super Wrestlers. Is there anything you guys won't do? Has there ever been an idea where it was up on the drawing board and you're just like, nah, we cannot do that live in front of people?
Oh, I mean, there's probably like some obvious ones, but I mean, we did this thing where we killed off a character, but we knew he's going to come back to life somehow, some magical way. Hell, we have the prize. We'll make it so he can come back, whatever. But I remember thinking at the time, like, pro wrestling traditionalists, like a Jim Cornette or somebody, would be like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. What? Fuck, I can't. This is garbage. Blah 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 blah." So, like, I don't know. It's pretty much like killing off a character, I think, would be a big deal. Otherwise, we haven't really done anything too like risque like that. I don't know what we would do.
There was, you know, because there's a lot of, I don't do a lot of writing. I'll help a little bit. You know, we're talking through the show, and a lot of what I do is, how do we do this production-wise? Like, where are the lights going to be? Do we need this or that on stage? So sometimes that'll kind of help push the story in a certain way. In this last show, there was definitely we have like time travel, different dimension stuff, and sometimes that gets really tricky, you know, because right now, you know, two wrestlers are the same person.
Right. Or are they the same person?
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
I really don't even know.
More to come. We're writing it like it's a comic book or a movie, and damn the consequences that it's a pro wrestling show. So we're just having fun with that, and I think that's what it should be. I think all pro wrestling should be that. But I know, like WWE, there's probably like 12 writers and 6 agents, and they get 3 guys, and they have to watch. I don't even know how it works, but it just sounds like overly complicated and not fun. It doesn't sound
It's like
fun.
a Beyonce song.
It's overly complicated and not fun. So yeah, it's just like that. And like, you open up a like Justice League or X-Men or whatever, and see that there's a team of guys and there's a problem, and they have to fix the problem with the team and the different characters. You know, I think ultimately what I want to do with the cast of Super Wrestlers is do like a cannonball run, where like the prize gets thrown in the back of some truck and drives off, and the guys all team up and partner up and get in different cars and chase across the country or something to get it. It doesn't all have to be pro wrestling. It doesn't all have to be like in the ring, and especially if you're doing like this kind of thing with time travel and stuff. So that's just what I want to do. It's like, oh rats, we have to do it every 3 months and set up a wrestling ring and have them fight there and take tickets and sell beer, which is great. We're making money and we're putting on a show, but I would just like to do it in movie form. As much of it in movie form we can do live. That's how we get Super
And
Wrestlers.
there's a lot of story that progresses between the shows too. And sometimes you see that before it's like leading up, the story will progress, or sometimes you see it right before the show starts too, which is really cool, I think, because you can kind of do whatever. You can change the story a little bit in between and make things fit.
Mm-hmm. Plus, it's also a little bit like Star Wars in that in between the movies, like time has passed. Well, we do a show every 3 months, but because it's time travel, that's not to say some guy has traveled around through time and spent 20 years somewhere, and now he comes back right at the like we can do all kinds of things like that, and will do all kinds of things like that.
Having that open is so it's got to be liberating for you guys, to not do the traditional thing where you can't kill the guy or this and that. I was hoping maybe you can talk a little bit more about your influence in comic books and like when we went, you guys sent us through space. We were going back and forth from one planet to another. You took the entire group of people, that entire audience, back and forth from space. Like, what the sky's the limit. What do you guys like going forward? Is there going to be more stuff like that? Is it going to be more intergalactic time travel? What else can we expect to see from you guys?
That is the only problem with Super Wrestlers right now. Super Wrestlers, in its own way, is kind of like, bear with me, it's like Mario Kart, in that you'll race around the track and then you'll race your own ghost, So I'm like, well, if we did this, and this, well, we can't just do like a wrestling show. We have to have this, and then this. We have to keep trying to top the stuff that we're doing, and that's really what the booking meetings are. Like, all right, we have these matches. What else can happen in these matches, or what can go down? And we're releasing. Well, it was like last week, the Delay Mignon Rydal video came out, and Chef Delay Mignon makes cupcakes, and Rydal eats one, and it's like an acid trip. So like we show his acid trip in the video.
We try to use the video wall like a portal, kind of. We've had a few things like that, and there definitely will be more of the different dimensions going through space kind of things. We try to write some stuff too, so we can plan like 2 shows ahead if possible.
Nice. And this is all stuff that's going to be up on the YouTube page then, if people can tune in more from there.
Yes.
What else can we expect to see from the YouTube page?
Right now we'll just do commercials that'll either recap or advance the storyline, and then we're releasing the show, like part by part. We're releasing the show. We had like 8 or 9 segments or matches on the last show, so we're doing that each week. We're releasing one of those.
There's 2 out now. You just released one today or yesterday?
Yeah, today.
So it's match by match. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
So about every week there will be a new match from the last show out.
And sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 guys out there, and it's not a match. It's just a segment or a thing that just moves their storyline along. Like, I was a big fan. The reason why I got into wrestling was the first thing I ever saw was Piper's Pit. It's the first thing I ever saw. I was a little kid, and I'm flipping through the stations, and there's a guy yelling at another guy, and it looks like a sporting event. And why is this man so angry? And then he reaches in a bag, and he pulls out a pineapple or coconut or whatever it was, smashes the other dude in the head, and I'm like, Mom, what is this? She's like, oh, that's just that stupid wrestling. Yeah, da, da, da. And then my dad came in, and he kind of laughed at it, and he walked away. And I'm like, what is this? They went to commercial. They come back. It's wrestling. But now I'm sitting there watching it. Show me that Piper's Pit again. Show me that. I got involved in the interview and the character, and then like the other violence, not the bell-to-bell stuff, which is great, and that's what it's there for. That's the purpose of pro wrestling. But give me the storyline, and give me the characters, and give me the weirdness. That's what I want.
And you hit it, man. You really hit it. It's really funny. Even looking at like your Instagram page, you can tell you're so influenced by comics. And I saw that you also do you collect figurines and stuff too. You collect action figures.
I collect, yeah. Oh yeah.
How many you got?
You should see it. I mean,
Thousands.
His basement wall is completely covered, and they're all lit in their packages. Not that we don't play with them sometimes, because me and Wack have made other. I mean, he's done plenty of stuff. Make action figures and do voices to it. Made a cartoon at one point we were working on, so those action figures definitely get used.
They get used.
He's not stingy with them. He's not stingy. You can go over and make them kiss and all kind of stuff.
But yeah, I discovered a trick. You can keep them in the pack. You can take them out, but keep them in the package, and then just run LED lights through the inside tops of the package. Hang them up on the wall. Flip a switch. Boom. Ambiance with action figures. That's cool. That's a pro tip.
Do you have like a Mount Rushmore of like favorite wrestlers?
Yes, they're all weird. Mantor. If you're not familiar, Google. He was 1995. He was He's on the list of like top 10 worst gimmicks. And he was there for like a month in WWF in 1995. And it's just a big buffalo or a big bull head on a guy in a furry outfit. Mantor. But to me, it epitomizes everything. It's pro wrestling. It's a ridiculous outfit. It's a goofy animal head. I love it. Mantor, which I know everyone's like, I'm turning this off now. He didn't say Hogan. He didn't say Savage. He didn't say Warrior. He didn't say Austin. He didn't say Rock. He didn't say Piper. I guess Piper. He didn't say CM Punk. I don't know. I just watch the product as a whole. I like different things about it. I like watching old stuff. I like watching old primetime wrestling, old WWF stuff. There used to be a show, used to be on the WWF network, called TNT. It was like Vince McMahon's like Tonight Show sort of thing, where he sits there like Johnny Carson. I just like the weird stuff. Wrestling is whatever. After Steamboat, if you've never seen Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, watch that. It's the greatest match of all time. I feel like if you watch that, you never have to watch anything else again. That's it.
Except for the Super Wrestlers.
Except for the Super Wrestlers.
Of course.
Can't forget.
Yeah, right.
We gotta keep promoting.
The Super Wrestlers.
You know, what's your take on Vince McMahon and, you know, that documentary that came out? Do you have a take on it, or no comment, or?
No, Jesus. Did he shit on this girl's head? I don't know.
Is that what they were claiming?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
So what? I mean, breaking it down, what happened?
It seemed like he used his power to do things that were probably not nice.
But sure, I'm sure. But at the same time, she was expecting money or something. I don't know the full thing. Like the reason why the story came to light, I thought, was because she wasn't getting paid the money that she thought she was supposed to get paid for letting him shit on her head. So it's like, fine, you can shit on my head, pay me. And then he's like, I'm not going to pay you. And then she's like, well, I'll tell everybody. And then it led to this whole chain of events of where he is now, which is like kind of nowhere. But he's fine. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He seems like a nice guy.
I met Vince McMahon once.
Yeah.
And this was back like 99 or 2000. And went to the Rosemont Horizon or whatever, and we brought tapes. We brought VHS tapes. And CM Punk was on them, and like the LWF, you know. And it's funny because I brought Vince a tape, and he would have Punk on there later. But anyway, so I bring him this tape, and I don't see him, but I see Pat Patterson, and we hand the tape to Pat Patterson, and he's like, "Oh, make sure Mr. McMahon gets it," or whatever. That's not a Pat, but anyway. So I'm standing by this door, and all of a sudden the door opens, and Vince is standing there, and holy shit, I turn around, it's Vince McMahon. And I'm like, this is so weird. I never ask anybody for their autograph. I just don't. You just don't. And you certainly don't ask Vince McMahon. You just don't, right? But I look over, and I'm like, okay. And it was like turning an hourglass on the table, but there's only 30 seconds in here, and I have 30 seconds to say whatever I'm going to say. I'm like, hello, Mr. McMahon. My name is Billy Wack, and I'm from a local Chicago pro wrestling company, and we gave some tapes to Pat Patterson, and you said you gave tapes to Pat? And yeah. Oh, I mean, he kind of just sat there, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, look, I know this is insane. Can you sign my wallet? Because I didn't have paper. For some reason, I had a Sharpie. So, like, I hand him a Sharpie, and he does. He takes my wallet, and he's, like, signing. And it's, like, forever. And he goes to hand it back, and I go to take it, and he pulls it back. And I'm like, oh, shit. You said you gave tapes to Patterson? I said, I did. Well, then maybe one day I'll be putting money in this for you. Holy shit, I just got Vince McMahon by Vince McMahon.
That's awesome.
Damn.
And then he realized.
And then I turn around, and someone took a picture. So there's a picture of me and Vince, and I have the shit-eating grin, and he has a shit-eating grin. Not a shit-taking grin.
But then he realized, wait, these aren't scat tapes. I'll never give my money.
You said lunatic wrestling. How come you're not dumping on some girl's head?
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know, that's my entire Vince.
You said there was another picture floating around with CM Punk and Stone Cold, but they cut you off.
They cut me off.
Do you remember that?
And Derek is in it also. Yeah, we were it was one of those, we went backstage we went to the bar. We went to the bar. The wrestlers would go to the Rosemont Horizon or whatever, and then they would go to the Clarion Hotel, which was right there. And we found out about it, so we would just start to go, and we would go to the bar. And all the guys would be in there. And I remember Steve Austin was in there. Triple H was in there. And I think I had a bunch of them sign my wallet, too. Because I was like, well, if I got Vince to sign it, hey, Triple H, put it right here, pal. You know, did Vince sign this? Whatever. But, yeah, so
he's the boss.
So I think we took that picture, like, in the bar or something. Yeah, which was funny because I don't think Punk was old enough to be in the bar.
Nope. Uh-oh. It was a different time around these parts.
It was a different time.
Sure
right?
was.
Good old days.
Good old days.
It was the hotel bar too, so it's a little
Yeah.
lax,
Yeah.
It's not a dive bar.
That's true.
Right? He's there for the free coffee.
Yeah.
Have you interacted with any other like professional wrestlers that are now like big in the past before?
I remember one time. I mean, I've met like pretty much everybody at one point or another. There was one time we were in a bar. This was me and Mark Osleber. Mark Osleber, if you're watching, you know the story. We were in a bar, and the WWF guys were there, and Undertaker was there.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
Undertaker was at the. We were like at a table, but Undertaker was at the bar, and he was there by himself. And I was like, oh wow, that's weird. Nobody's crowding around him and talking to him. And a couple minutes later, the waitress comes over. She gives him a sandwich, and I'm like, look, the Undertaker's eating a sandwich. And now I've seen the Undertaker like rise from the dead, sit up out of a casket, set a guy on fire, fall off a cake. You know, so I've seen him do all these things, but I've never seen the guy eat a sandwich, right? So it's fascinating, and he's taking these big bites, and he's looking around, and like no one's giving, everyone's doing their own thing. It's like they didn't realize the Undertaker was there. So, end of the night, the bar closes. And I look up because I was talking to Mark, and I look up and everybody is gone except for the Undertaker, who's like still sitting there finishing his sandwich. So we all get up, all of us at the same time, the three of us, and we all are walking toward the door. And there's this limo that's just pulled outside. I'm like, oh, that's the Undertaker's limo. And we're walking up, and we held the door for the Undertaker. Oh, thanks, you know, whatever. And now we're walking, and just as he's about to get in the limo, Mark turns to the Undertaker. He's like, hey, I got a question. Now, we had been sitting there all night, and we hadn't said anything to the Undertaker. So he looks like, oh, you're going to talk now, finally. And Mark says, do you remember Survivor Series 90 when you debuted? Yes. Were you supposed to pop out of that giant egg that was on stage? Do you remember that? Did you ever see that?
I don't think so. No.
There's this giant egg for weeks leading up to Survivor Series 90, where he debuted. And the egg pops, and it's this guy in a chicken suit that gets out. And then, like, later on in the night, the Undertaker debuted. So it was always in our head, like, was the Undertaker supposed to pop out of this egg? Like, what was really supposed to happen? Because it seemed like the guy in the chicken suit was just like a snap decision they made on the fly. So he asks him, hey, weren't you supposed to pop out of the egg? And the Undertaker, like, kind of rears back, and he looks, and you know what? I was. And he opens the car, and he gets in, and we're like, holy shit. I mean, it was just some weird.
Without makeup, though? He didn't have his makeup on?
No, he didn't have makeup. He might have had some sandwich on his face, but yeah. So anyway, the Undertaker was supposed to pop out of this giant egg. If you Google gobbledygooker, you'll know, you'll get the full story.
That's fun to say. Google
watch it.
gobbledygook.
Yeah, it's one of the WWF's more embarrassing things. Like Mantor, I suppose.
Mantor. Now we storm in the Capitol. Look at him go. The fuck was with that buffalo hat? Can we just talk about that for? What was with that?
The buffalo. Oh, right. That's exactly what this. Well, kind of. Yeah, you got to see Mantor. But yeah, the guy looks like that.
Sheesh. What a weird world we're living
What a
in.
weird world. What are people up to? What's going on?
Wrestling. That's what we're up to.
Wrestling.
Baby. That's what we're up to. You never completed your Mount Rushmore.
Oh, right. Because I don't think I have one. I think it's just Mantor.
Mantor.
Okay. Probably the Undertaker. Well, here's the thing. This is just a Mount Rushmore. Probably not mine, but you got to have Hogan. I hate him. But you got to have Hogan. And you got to have Piper.
Yeah.
Because nobody would give a shit about Hogan if he didn't have a decent guy to fight. So you got to have Piper. And then I would literally just go Austin, Undertaker, and then if there's room for another one, The Rock, I guess maybe. Those are just your main guys. If it's not those guys, it's just Mantor. That's it. It's just,
Now, what's your take on the whole Netflix era with wrestling now?
it's boring. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. I thought it was going to be something new. I thought there was going to be swears. I just thought it was going to be a different thing. To me, it's a step backward. They have all the shit on the mat, the sponsors and stuff like that. Why? We don't need that. Keep the goddamn mat clean of that. You put it everywhere else. Like, there was a WrestleMania. It was like a Rey Mysterio match, and this match is brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they kept showing Cinnamon Toast Crunch through the entire WrestleMania match. You have enough money. You're like a quadrillion-dollar company. Can you just keep the shit off the mat? Put it on the signs, put it on the poster, hang something. Keep the mat clean. What are we doing here? It's fine.
Right.
And bring back the bra and panties matches.
Bring back Mantor in a bra and panties match.
So should I cancel that PBR sticker for the mat then?
Well, hold on.
It is cool to see, though, that they're doing a lot of really cool digital advertisements through it, too. They'll have the screens up on the side of it. And you see it a lot in, like, sports, like hockey, for instance. Like, the boards will change, throughout it with the video cameras. That I'd like to see. Like, if they were to do it, maybe just make it the camera illusion that it will project it on there digitally. But then when you're at the arena, you don't want to see, like, Wilson tennis balls underneath them. Like,
and again, why? Like, they don't need the sponsorship that way. They don't need it that much, unless that's some weird deal that, like, the TKO UFC thing. Who knows? I mean, obviously they do it in UFC. They whore that thing out with, like, Monster Energy and whatever. But, like, just WWE is different. Keep it different. Keep it different, because whereas MMA is real and WWE is predetermined, it's like a play set. Whereas in UFC, these guys are really fighting and getting blood and shit, whatever, all over. Keep this pristine. And, like, again, do it digitally,
Right.
Or just, like, do it completely digitally. Like, tonight we're brought to you by Snickers. Show a graphic or something. Everything's a Jim Ross voice. But show a Snickers logo. Don't put it on the mat.
It's fair.
Get off my lawn.
He's mad about that.
I'm mad.
It's sacred ground.
It's
I
sacred
get it.
ground.
Why else is it boring? I didn't even realize they were on Netflix.
Imagine, okay, so you're playing drums, and, like, Burger King is right on your bass drum, your kick drum.
Make me hungry.
Well, I'm just saying, do you want that?
No, I would
No.
never do that. I mean,
Right?
how much money?
Well,
How much money? That's the question.
just free Burger King.
Free Burger King. I don't know. Heartburn City.
Aside from all the good people at Pabst Blue Ribbon, are there any other sponsors that you guys would like to connect with?
Lots of Chicago type stuff. I wanted to get through this 10th show, and then really go out there and kind of seek around some local places, maybe like some comic shops, maybe some dispensaries.
Dispensary would be cool. Could use a liquor.
Yeah, just because we're adult type, so I'd rather have like adult type or pop culture stuff. Like I said, all local comic shops. I would love to talk
Burger
to.
King.
No, not Burger King. Not Burger King.
Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's. We will talk Long John. Call us, LJS. Call us.
How about pro wrestling tees?
Yeah, I mean, pro wrestling tees. Could probably do something with pro wrestling tees. We have a company that does T-shirts for us, but I know pro wrestling tees does like a lot of stuff and like a lot of good stuff. Totally, well, totally.
That's a fun shop.
It is, yeah. But like I said, I just wanted to get through this 10th show, and then like reattack everything and see where we're at.
Did you say we're considering this a season after the 10th show? Like a season?
After the 10th, yeah, I think so.
I don't even know what that means, but I like it.
It's, season 1, 10,
Yeah.
10 shows. Like, if it was a DVD, do they still make those? If it was a DVD, you'd get 10 episodes on one.
Yeah.
Or it'd probably be a 2 DVD set, because the shows, whatever. I don't know.
File size.
File size, yeah.
I like that, man, because then when you set up in a season, you can even like take a little time off, kind of rebuttal the cards a little bit, see what you're working with,
We do them every 3 months, and I thought 3 months was going to be enough, but it's tough because we're coming up with new concepts and new things, like the new songs.
Yeah, I get excited when there's a new character because that means a new song. Then when you go to try to put it all together, you want to keep everybody included, and it gets tougher and tougher the more people there are. You know, I don't know what our roster is now, but it's up there compared to the first show.
Yeah, it's up there.
How many would you say, roughly?
There's probably 25 guys.
If you count managers, sidekicks, all that.
Managers, characters, referee. We have a robotic referee. He's a robot. You can't touch him. And a lot of the ideas for the characters were born out of stuff that we see in wrestling that we hate. Like when you see a wrestler like shove a referee, this is not impressive. I'm not impressed. You're a big wrestler. He's the referee. He's trying to keep order. Keep your hands off the referee. Well, what if you had a referee that you couldn't touch? What if he was electrified? What if he was a robot? So the wrestler goes push the zap, And the same thing with like interviewers. When a wrestler's like, "Let me tell you something," and is yelling at the little announcer guy, like, I'm not impressed. Intimidating well, why don't you say that to my face? Look, I'm just the announcer. I'm just trying to ask you a couple of questions here. It doesn't impress me when the wrestler acts bigger than the female or male interviewer or the referee. So we create equalizers. We just reverse engineer everything that we hate in wrestling. The hot potato belt. Again, this is reverse engineering what we hate. The actual belt. I hate the belt. Let's make it a sci-fi prop. And so on. And so on and so on.
3 months is a lot of time, and it's a short amount of time the way you look at it. In entertainment, that's like that goes by real quick. How much time does it take for the wrestlers to kind of recoup after an event?
A lot of the guys are working other places, like the following week or whatever. So they're probably good after like a day or two. They'll work other places, but the names and most of the names we just keep here in Super Wrestlers. The music we keep in Super Wrestlers, we're kind of exclusive. Mm-hmm. So again, we'll like recruit, or someone will hit us up, and we'll be like, okay, but here's the deal: we're going to keep the costume, we're going to keep the name, and we're going to keep the music. And they're like, okay, cool. We just want to work in this environment. That's great. And I find that a lot of the guys are very happy to have direction. Like, oh, we're going to make you a this and this. Okay, cool, because I go to this other place, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with you. So here there is like a definitive, like, we'll see you next month, or we'll see you 3 shows ahead and stuff like that. So guys are happy with that.
It is impressive to me, though, because these guys, I follow a lot of them on social media, and they're going at it constantly doing shows. I don't know how their body takes it. We're like, just don't get hurt before our show.
Right.
And there's, and that happens too. Like we've had some actual injuries. There's been some blood in the ring that was real, dislocated shoulder. Like, it gets real out there. So I give it to those guys. I don't want to do that. The first show, I got hit by Madam Shatter and fell, and I was sore for a week. I think that's actually why my back hurts.
That was 2 years ago.
What do you think is the? I'm sorry. What do you think is the worst wrestling injury you've ever seen?
I was gonna ask that. Hell yeah.
Same page.
Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, or whatever. Sid. He's coming off the top second rope, and he lands on his ankle. And his ankle's just like, nope.
The worst.
It's a good one. Or do you mean live? Like, I haven't seen too many live, really. Nothing bad, but the internet is full of these delicious videos. But Sid is the worst. It was like a WCW thing, I think, and he comes off the second rope, and he's trying to do like a boot. I think he's trying to kick somebody off the second rope. It's like a weird move. His leg just crumbles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
It's like I can take violence, but like when there's an MMA fight or something, I get into it, and then as soon as somebody kicks and the leg goes in half, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't anymore. It's too much.
Yeah. That's a career-ending injury, right?
Yeah.
There, man. That's not something to mess with.
And it was live too. So he lands, and the camera pans over to him, and he like pulls his leg up, and his foot is just hanging. And you see his face, and what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck. He's just mouthing it, and he's just kind of pointing it. It's so bad. It's so bad. We're gonna take a commercial right now. Yeah, you better.
Now, when you're hosting, Billy, there's a lot of names to know. There's a lot of words to say. Do you have cue cards up there? Do you have it's all up in the noggin?
It's all up in the noggin. Sometimes in between matches, I will go over by Alex and be like, "Wait, what's next?" And then he'll tell me, and then I'll turn around and walk out there and still completely forget. But for the most part, yeah, it's all
usually it's like, is this where we tell him when the next show is or something like that? Everything else, I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. I'd get out there and forget.
Well, it helps.
A lot of names.
It helps if you make it up, so you
Yeah.
know, like, I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit.
No cue cards though.
No cue cards.
That's impressive.
I see people with cue cards, and I'm like, oh, you don't care.
In 10 years, we'll probably get him a teleprompter. Time reaches us all, but for now, right off the top.
In 10 years, I won't even be able to see a teleprompter in 10 years.
Hell yeah. Now, who are some of your influences growing up to be a host or a master of ceremonies?
I just Bozo the Clown.
Amen, brother.
I don't know. I've watched just a lot of people in my life. Anybody that makes me laugh. Bozo the Clown. Mean Gene Okerlund. Back in the hello everyone and welcome to my, that booming voice. He was like a smaller guy, and Mean Gene. He's. I like. Back in the day, growing up, Howard Stern was a thing. George Carlin was a thing. Watching Rowdy Roddy Piper was a thing. Mean Gene was a thing. Kermit the Frog. Hi ho, this is Kermit the Frog. Stuff like that. Just anybody that's a host. Bob Barker. Anybody. You just watch how they are with people. Watch what they say. See how they pivot. Yeah. The whole the actual gimmick. Did you ever know the Billy Whack gimmick? Did you ever know the story of Billy Whack?
No.
Is he was a failed game show host. And it wasn't his fault. It was he would get a job on a game show, and the game show would get canceled like a week later, and it was never his fault. And he eventually gravitated to pro wrestling. That's the story. That's the story.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
And how did the name Billy Whack become a thing?
It's the very first night before our very first kid backyard show. I was like, I'm going to be an announcer. I need a name, and I'm taller than most of the guys. So like being the interviewer, like I said earlier, you don't want to be the intimidating interviewer. So I would always kind of like shrink down and shrug, and I wanted like a friendly name. I'm friendly. I'm Billy. I'm almost like a kid, And Mean Gene, mean was like an action word, so I went with whack, like Billy Whack. So, but the night before we did our first show, I literally had a dream. It's the craziest thing. It was like, just be Billy Whack. And I woke up and I was like, I think that's the name. It literally came in a dream. So, because nothing ever, you hear people like, it came to me in a dream. Did it? Did it? This really did. So I know it's bizarre, but yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come.
They're coming, baby. They're selling out. More than coming. They're flocking.
I hope. September 14th.
Yeah, September 14th. What can we expect in the September 14th show?
Is it 14th?
September 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. The whole like, expect the unexpected. That's legit. It's legit with us. Like, because again, up until show day, we might even be going in a certain direction with some things, but then it's like, oh no, why don't we do this with it? Yeah, let's do that. Literally expect the unexpected. If you and I mean that, if you go there and you're like, yeah, nothing really surprised me, I'm like, oh shit, we didn't do our job that night, chasing the ghost.
Yeah,
Chasing
absolutely.
the ghost.
It's got to be hard to top it too, because you guys really go full sendy with these shows. Like, is there ever a time where you're like, no, we've already done that 3 times, we can't do it again?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't try to do it again. Or we would, but we would just put a different hat on it. Call it something different, and this time it's 2 different guys fighting over a different thing. But yeah, I definitely know there's going to be some magical things.
There's going to be
happening at
some
this one.
stuff happening. Definitely some stuff happening. Some technology, some interdimension of what we know now, but it could all change by the time the show comes up. So even if we told you what we thought it was now, we would be wrong by the time.
Like,
the
here's
show
a
got
spoiler. No.
Yeah.
It's going to change.
here.
You
Yeah.
guys really write it all the way up until the day of then, huh?
Well,
Ish, for
the
ish.
most part.
We try to stop maybe a week or 2 before, because then we have to do video and stuff like that. And there's a lot of weird cues. So we just try to get everything in the can like that, going into it. I hate to do videos live, like day of, like promos. I like to have everything done and just ready to go.
Right. There's always something that can happen with a video.
And then after, it's, CM Venom and Whack and everybody that kind of helps write it. After that happens, the wrestlers put their own touch on it too. So sometimes that changes it a little bit, and sometimes it changes it quite a bit. Like they'll come up with some cool stuff too.
We're really trying to just do like a theater. We want this to be like wrestling and theater and comedy and improv and music. Like give us the whole like Chicago burrito of fun stuff. And we just do it with a wrestling flavor. We're a wrestling flavored burrito.
Little hot dog, water, little wrestling.
Love hot dog water.
That's a good way to put it. You say music, improv. What else was it? Music, improv,
comedy,
theater.
Yeah, theater.
It really is, man. Especially with the improv aspect, like really anything can go. Somebody stubs a toe, they're gonna have to have that part of the storyline now.
Yeah.
Now, how much leeway do these guys have with something like that? Say they did stub a toe or whatever may happen. How much freedom do they have from announcement to the ring or until the ring at the end?
I mean, they can go out there and do what they want. Like, I don't. I say, look, here's who we'll go over or whatever, and here's why, because we're going to be doing this. And they're like, okay, then they'll go out there and they'll just put together whatever, and then we'll watch it later. And again, like, oh man, did you see him do that headbutt? Yeah, he did the headbutt, and then the crowd went wild, and then it's like, that headbutt, and then we'll talk later about the headbutt, and maybe the headbutt's a thing.
Or my favorite move is delay mignon's. What do you call it?
Rolling pin.
The rolling pin.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Oh,
See,
it's amazing.
he never said like, can I do this thing? He just did it, and I'm like, and then I'm a fan, so I'm watching it, and I'm going, oh, that's a great, that's so great.
My boy.
Yeah.
And then some of the guys really beef up their entrances too. Like Vlad brings out the druids and all that, and they do their little thing. It's they really have free reign.
And they get it. They're like, I think they're happy creatively. So I'll be like, this is what it is. This is what it is. And then they'll be like, well, we have this and this and this. And it's like, it's great. Then we all have all of these things. Let's go,
Damn.
Best time of my life right now with Super Wrestling.
I bet, man. Fuck. I'm really happy for you guys though. It's been such a cool success to watch. Like, I remember hearing about it many years ago, and I'm like, oh, that's so sick. I want to get to this show. Finally got to one, and it just like it really like I'm going to tell the folks listening at home, you hear all these things that we're talking about now, but you really don't understand until you're there. Like the just the production value of it is so, it's like nothing, no other shows I've been to in theater and wrestling even. You guys really go above and beyond for it. So you guys should be really, really proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
You came. What was the show you guys came on?
The June one, I think.
June, yeah.
I think it was June.
And even with
The last one.
Was it the last one, or did you guys do one before?
well, no, because he said it was when we went back and forth between Cross Eternia and Earth.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
2 shows.
Was that March? March?
I think it's
Yeah.
March.
Probably
then,
March.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys were able to come in and like just go with it, even though there were storylines you probably had no idea about.
Oh yeah,
right?
we picked up right on everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming in, and I think that was another fun thing because we were waiting in line, we're like, oh man, like we didn't get tickets ahead of time, and like I love wrestling fans. They're the kindest people ever when you're just waiting in line.
Yeah.
And this girl's like, oh yeah, like my brother couldn't make it. Like here's 2 tickets, and I'm like, can I
that's
pay
amazing.
you?
Wow.
She's
That's
like, you don't have to, but
amazing.
I'm like, here, take
That's
this.
awesome.
So we went into it kind of blindly. My buddy Bill Cosplay was telling us that he's performing that night.
Yeah.
So I would love to see you guys have more Bill Cosplay
Yeah,
on
yeah.
board. My boy Dixon, he's incredible. Absolutely love that dude. But yeah, we went into it blind, and I'm in a way kind of glad I did, because it was really cool to see, like, even just the fans in the beginning. Like, she was like, oh, I've been to like 5 of these already. I'm so hooked on the storyline. They have like a whole thing. Do you know so-and-so, this and that? And like, you can really, really tell just by being in the line, getting in the door when we're sitting there on Milwaukee, like everyone was so into it. And it's really a welcoming environment.
Yeah.
too. You walk in, you're not really timid. You're like, oh my God, I want to know more about this. Why is that guy a chef? You know, like
Right.
this is incredible. I want to find out more. And then after that night, I think both me and Jay were like, let's go down the rabbit hole here. Let's see what this is all about.
Oh, yeah.
I went in, I was all like, oh, just another wrestling show. I don't even know none of the characters or nothing. And I go in, by the time I leave, I'm like, whoa, I love filet mignon.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's one
Yeah,
of the
chef.
Again, like the camera pans past the audience, and I'll because I'll edit the videos, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, these people are great, and they're happy. There is nobody that's like, got there, let's see what they can do here, you know. And if that is the case, they're gonna see like the first 10 minutes and be like, this isn't for me anyway. Or they're gonna leave, which is fine. But our audience is like, they're just a bunch of beautiful people, and they're there for a good time, and they get it. And like wrestling fans, they are nice people, but you can get some guys that are like standoffish and like, they're judging, you know. But everybody there seems to be there for all the right reasons.
Right. And when you break the tension like that too, you know, when you got Pubic Moose coming out for the first fight, and he's like, you're like, we're only 3 minutes in and you've got pubes covered in everyone. Like, it just totally breaks the ice of just like, from here on out, this is going to be sheer silliness.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. You bought the ticket. Let's take the ride, baby.
We're letting you know, like, it's going to be ridiculous. But these guys can wrestle. They're actual wrestlers. You know, they're not just like guys that are dressed like wrestlers doing these skits or whatever. There's matches.
It's really good.
Yeah,
Like
super good.
I'm thoroughly impressed with some of the moves. Like there's at least, like I said earlier, one point every show where I'm like, oh my God. And I was never a wrestling fan. You know, I was never really into it, but they do things physically that I can't comprehend. Yeah.
You got excited. It was the battle royal. There was like it was the thing that just went up today. It was like Stephen Flo and Pubic Moose, and they're battling. They'd both gone over the top rope, but they're both on the thing. And you were like, "Oh my God, I get so nervous when they fight. 'Cause
Yeah.
somebody's gonna fall off."
Or like the time that a guy got thrown out of the ring into Madam Shatter, like a whole ass dude got thrown, and she like hit the ground. I think she hit like the first row, and I was like, oh my God, is she okay? And then she got up like, she's okay.
She's a pro.
She's a real pro.
Oh man, it's scary too, man. When we were standing there, I think it was the cross fight at the end, and we're just standing there, and all of a sudden some dude comes flying into the chairs that we were all sitting in. And we're like, oh my
yes.
God, right there, bro.
Let me at him.
Yeah, I had to start telling the lighting guy, all right, we need a lighting special on the bars, because we know some of the guys, like, they're gonna take it out of the ring, they're probably gonna get on the bar. And it was so funny because the guy that we thought was gonna do it, we made the specials, and then he did it, but some were totally different. It's like, move that light over, move the light over.
And I get so nervous when the guys fight in the audience. I'm like, something could go, you know, guy cocks his, oh, sorry, buddy. Like, you hit the guy, you hit a fan, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, God, it makes me nervous. And my wife is like,
Part of the thrill.
people like that. People like that. You got to do that.
People know how to get up and move.
I'm like, oh, it just makes me nervous.
You know, what's the liability like that for you guys to have a wrestling event? You know, is it covered by the building? Is it you guys have like an LLC type deal?
Yeah.
Or
So like, we don't have to worry about that. But I mean,
There's medics on
we
standby.
just don't want it to happen. Of
course.
But yeah, we have medics on standby. We have the whole bit. Yeah.
And obviously these wrestlers got to have some good health insurance getting into this,
Sure.
huh?
There are several of them that are police officers.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some teachers, police officers,
Yeah.
pipe fitters. You know, it's just like middle class America.
That's wild too for kids, you know, like your teacher, like by day is a teacher, by night they're a pro wrestler.
yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. What's that bruce?
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about it.
I was fighting a guy named Pubic Moose.
What's 10 times 11, idiot?
What you don't know won't hurt you. Oh man, what do you think the worst job you guys have ever had was before getting into this, or do you still have?
I've done a lot of stuff. I've worked mall jobs when I was a kid.
Mall jobs are fun. I like the people
fun.
watching there.
Yeah.
I've had
You know,
a lot of different jobs.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
My worst job ever. I was Ready? You know this. I worked for Man Cow.
Oh, no.
What? Whew. That's.
What was that like?
Oh my God! Let me tell you what. I didn't know. Like, I mean, I knew who he was and stuff. This is when he had a TV show. He had a TV show, and they would film like an hour, and then he would do an hour of radio. And it was my job to stand behind him on this like ancient computer. It was like an Atari 400, like the keys stuck or whatever. It was terrible. And he would be up there talking about something, and I'm supposed to listen to him. You know, like Christopher Reeve and Superman. And then I'm supposed to be like, oh, Superman. And then like find the theme of Superman and hit a button and send it over to him on his computer. And then he would play 4 seconds of it and then start rambling about something else. So he would be off on his rant and I'd be like looking for the Superman theme, but the computer doesn't work. And then he's like, come on. What are you, come on, this segment, you blew the segment. And I'm like, this equipment sucks. This job sucks. You suck. Anyway, I literally quit. I walked out on being a production guy for Man Cow. I was only there for like a month and a half, but it was terrible. It was terrible. You would have to get up at 2 a.m.
Really?
Right.
Like, which means you'd have to go to bed at like, I don't know, dinner time. Or whatever. Anyway, it was shitty. It was a shitty job and whatever. It was just a crappy place to be. But anyway, it got me to here. It got me to the Super Wrestlers.
Every step means something.
That's right.
Mine sounds dumb now compared to that. But in high school, there was this place that I worked for like less than a week. And it was called Jewett Steaks. And all this dude did, it was a big lumber mill. And he made steaks for all the signs, like all the political signs and stuff like that. And he had 2 types. He had the 2-point and the 4-point. And at first, the first couple days, he was like, just take all these like pieces of wood and cut them down to 4 foot. And that was easy on this old school saw. And then like they're like, all right, today you're ready to make 4-point steaks. I'm like, okay. And there was this huge old rusty machine that was frightening to use. And the guy there, he's like, I'm gonna show you a couple and I gotta leave. You do the rest. Okay. And so he shows me how to do this, and I mean, it's like not OSHA standards, right? Mm-hmm. So he shows me a couple, I do a couple, he's like, hey, you'll get better as you go. And I do like a couple hundred and leave for the day. I get a call the next day, he's like, you screwed every one of those steaks up. My business is known for how pointy our spikes are. You're fired. And I was like, thank God, because I thought I was going to chop a finger off. And as a musician, that's not fun.
Right.
It's not good. Yeah, Jewett Steaks. I've had a lot of jobs, though, but that was like one of the most stressful, short-lived jobs I've ever had.
I thought it was food.
And then Man Cow came in,
No.
and he's like, oh, got them all.
It was just bad. Whatever.
It's a big personality to work with, for sure.
He was like way too big, and maybe I'm a little bit of a big person, so maybe there was like a thing. I don't know. I was like, I wanted to help him with his show, but the equipment sucked, and he was too caffeinated.
He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, sure.
I loved when he used to talk about the Black Hawk helicopters flying over Lake Michigan.
Ugh.
He's like, they're looking for the aliens again. I'm like, I think they are, dude. I'm in on the conspiracy shit. I like a good conspiracy.
Oh yeah,
That's how we became
Yeah.
friends, I think. Hanging out
Started
one night and started
talking-
talking about some crazy stuff that's not true. And I was
Right.
like, this guy.
I think we were talking about crazy stuff, and then it was crazy, and then we just stopped and looked at each other, like an eyebrows raised, like,
Both put our hands on our
do you believe
holster.
it? do you
Are
believe
you
it?
fed?
The government not that long ago admitted to UFOs, so you know.
And we're in such crazy times that everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
we know.
Imagine a world where that's happening. Like, okay, cool. Well, do we have a picture yet? It's not that the one alien? It is. Okay, all right, cool.
World's on fire with our politics and COVID, all that stuff mixed together. It's like
Here's some
release
aliens.
the alien information, and no one will bat an eye. No one's gonna care.
And I remember thinking at the time, like, oh, they're doing this just to calm everybody down, and then it like kind of nobody cared. Nobody cared about aliens, which is weird
It's a
because
shame.
aliens would throw everything, like religion is suddenly because
Right.
that's not in the Bible. Here they come.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's why they haven't really said, like, here's the aliens, here they are, here is Ambassador Kronax.
I have so much faith in the government that once they admitted it, I didn't think it was true anymore, and I've believed since I was a kid. And then once the government said that there was really aliens, I was like, wait a second.
You guys are lying to us.
I'm on this firm belief with the conspiracy that, like, they're going to tell you what they want you to hear because, like you said, it's going to be mass panic. People are not going to believe in religion anymore. It's going to make you rethink ancient civilizations that, like, maybe they had help from aliens back in the day, or maybe they were here before, and maybe it's them that's actually in charge. We don't know. We don't know. And I don't think they're going to let us know because they got us under their thumb. And if I die tomorrow, aliens exist.
Well, I have a new theory that just about everything you hear in the news, no matter if it's one side or the other, every story is like, it starts with that much truth and everything else around it is a lie. Like, no matter who's saying it, no matter if they're independent, no matter if it's Fox or CNN, it doesn't matter. It's all pretty much a lie fabricated to make us feel a certain way.
Right. Clickbait.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I never believe in anything until proven guilty in the court of law. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch something on the news and I'm like, yeah, that's a shitty thing that happened, but, like,
What's the full story?
What's the full story?
Right, yeah.
You know, I see this part of the body cam.
Yeah,
whereas the other
right.
part.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
Sure.
The media is going to tell you what they want you to hear, and people are always going to misconstrue it. You know, like clickbait. Even like that Epstein file list, when they're like, "Oh yeah, we have it on our desk." Oh no, there's nothing to see.
The
It's
funny
like,
thing about the Epstein thing, and this is a while back, like when it first blew up, you know, anyone that's listened to Alex Jones in their life knew about Epstein before that, knew about the island. Supposedly, if he was telling the truth, but you were called a quack and a conspiracy theory. And then once the CNN and Fox came out with it, then it was like, what presidential guy I like, the other guy's on the list. And then everybody all of a sudden knew who was on the list. I was like, 5 years ago, you called me a quack. You know? I knew it before it was cool.
Well, now it's not even a, like, who's on the list, what's on the list, where is the list, is there a list? It's like, you guys are so bad at the, like, we have a list. Oh, no, now it's
They
gone. Like,
fucked that up so bad.
yeah.
Like, so bad. And it would be so easy for them just to be like, oh, we're working on it. There's a lot here. We're working on it. But no, they just act like it's nothing now. And why is somebody in prison if no one did anything wrong?
Right.
It's so crazy. It's such gaslighting.
I expect better. This is all I want out of any politician. I know you're full of shit. Just lie to me better. You're supposed to be the best in the world. You have the best technology and the best machines and the best people and the best. You get the technology like 3 years before we even hear about it. Like and it's still like just kids fucking around. Like your stories don't make sense. Just keep lying, just keep running the opposite direction with that football, and you're still scoring. Like, I don't understand this world we're in right now. It's like.
Like, even Trump was like rebundled to the other day. Someone asked him about it. He's like, it was like made up. It was a hoax from like the Obamas.
Oh,
and
today
stuff.
he's like, it's bullshit.
Bro, that's like, you're kind of
So no one should be in jail then? So no one should be in jail for it?
right?
Today's thing was like, oh, I don't know why people or even care about that. That's all bullshit. And you're an idiot if you care about that. Like, what? This is like kid shit. This is like kid shit. And again, you're supposed to be the best at this, or you're at least supposed to have a team that's the best at this, or you should at least listen to your team. But then again, your team is like, you like pick them out of like, you know, oh, you look good. Like Linda McMahon, okay? Linda McMahon was like the head of small business the last time at bat for these creeps. And now she's like the head of the Secretary
Board of Education.
Education, right?
Education, yeah.
Well, she didn't know shit about small business. She runs a quadrillion-dollar company. So what does she know about, like, Steve's hot dogs on the... She doesn't know shit about small business. And now she's, like, literally dismantling the Department of Education. And all of these ghouls are getting in there and dismantling and taking apart, or just, like, literally farting on whatever they're supposed to be in charge of. These people
I will say this, though. The caveat there is that if we have all this money we put in education, we're not doing really good. Something needed to change. Maybe not put her in charge, but like we could do better to our kids. They can't read anymore. It's getting kind of bad out there.
We just need people that like, oh, I went to school to do this, to learn to be this, to get into this position. Not just like, hey, you said I was cool in an interview. Be the head of fucking lettuce, you know? Just at this point, none of these people are qualified for anything.
making Elon the head of Doge.
Yeah, and
fuck?
and then like, oh, they got in a fight. And when they got in a fight, I'm like, okay,
Yo.
this is bullshit because we on our level shouldn't hear about it.
Right.
Why is Channel 7 and 5 and CBS, why are they telling us the fight these two guys are having? What is he? Why is he even around? You know, like, why are you here? You're his friend. He gave you a job. Now you're fighting. Now he's threatening you. Like, what is this?
I think Elon, part of it is he doesn't get enough sleep. He stays up all the time. And then he didn't get his way in the bill because he wanted the EV mandate. And then he didn't get that, and he's put all this money towards Trump. So now he's like, why didn't I get anything out of it? It was just like he wanted the palms greased, and he didn't get it. So
These
he
fucking
flipped.
people, these people are idiots because they could be and have and do everything they wanted. Like Trump, he could be a great guy. People would adore him. Not every blonde chick with a crucifix around her neck, but people, like a whole, if they just did good, if they just did right by people. Trump, I don't understand. You have all the power. You apparently have all the money. You have all the charisma, or so you say. But you wear the same goddamn suit for 8 years. Change. Just put on a different pair of pants. I know there's that golf option of yours, that golf variant, with the diaper. But what is the point of having all this money and your Russian spy wife, who obviously thinks you're disgusting? But like, it's been a blue suit, a white shirt, and a red tie for like 10 years.
He does yellow and pink sometimes.
Oh yeah, and that's just he's probably signaling to somebody.
Hey, if I wear the yellow one, that means I got a full diaper apiece.
I mean, these people are garbage, and they're like, well, don't you want a politician that's going to be banging on the table? And yeah, but I want him to like be truthful and honest about the shit he's yelling about. I want a guy like with conviction yelling about it, not a guy saying like, well, if you want to investigate that, you're probably an asshole. What a baby, this guy. Fuck.
Yeah, he really did mess up with the Epstein thing because a lot of his base, like even his sycophants, were like, "Come on, you campaigned on this." And there was some good stuff he did. Like he ended that 30-year war between the Congo and where was it? I forget. It was like a 30-year war. Like 4 million people had died. That just ended. Like, there's been a few good things, right? But you ran on this. You ran on the Epstein thing, and now you're acting like it doesn't even exist. Like, and then I heard he said the other day, like he doesn't even need some of his supporters. He's like, if they don't believe what I say, I don't even need them anyway. It's like, well, yeah, because you can't run for another term.
That's right.
So
Again, I think it comes back to like they know more than they're giving off, but the public reaction to it, I think, is going to be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're going to see some pretty big names on there who like people idolize.
Do you guys think they're going to let Ghislaine testify?
Hey, how do you pronounce her name, by the way?
Ghislaine. I've heard both.
I've heard like
Maxwell?
Ghislaine. I heard all kinds of weird.
Ghislaine is probably what her old boyfriend
Ghislaine.
called her. But I would love to see her testify and then get time added for everything she said. But that would be a spicy day on CNN, or wherever they put the Congress.
But here's the thing. I'm just ready to check out because of all the things, whether the rape allegations or there's so many. He does something every day. It's like being trapped in a room with somebody and you're questioning them. And all they're doing is just knocking over furniture and shit's breaking. You're like, oh, well, I got to go pick this up. And then you're like, but hey, what about? And then he knocks over something and you got to go over here. There's so much shit going on, and every one of them is bad. If like one of these things was like an Obama or a Bush or a Reagan or Carter, just one day, one of the things, it would be enough to tank a political career. But this guy has the fucking sports almanac from Back to the Future.
Teflon Don.
And he just keeps going back and like erasing something. Because we're like, the allegations of rape, the 29 women, the court, the schloop. It's just gone.
Jedi mind trick.
And you're like, but wait. I think the world is like, it's split in two. And there's his supporters who don't disappear from the picture, the Back to the Future picture, and then the rest of us that are like, what's going on?
I think that there
doesn't make sense.
I think before COVID sometime, the Large Hadron Collider did something and they actually changed the timeline, and then like a little bit right before COVID until now, it's all different. Like it was supposed to be a little different, like not completely, most of us are still here. Like
I'm
it
into
just
that.
feels
That's
weird.
a conspiracy
Feels
that I can
weird.
get into because it feels weird.
Feels weird. Like it's supposed to
It
be.
was actually when Harambe died.
Yes.
That's when the
Yes.
timeline changed.
All shifted. Now we're talking about 100 men fighting gorillas. Look at how we've turned out as a civilization.
You think Trump and Diddy have the same lawyer?
No, I don't think so. No.
Probably no. Isn't who's the mayor, old mayor of New York? Wasn't he?
Giuliani.
Oh, God.
was.
He was his mayor.
Old.
That creep.
Oh, did you
Old
see him in the
leaker?
Borat movie? When he was like
yeah.
pulling his pants down.
Oh,
for
yeah,
them? They like
yeah.
caught him. That was
Yeah.
fucking wild.
My favorite is that etched
When
in
he's
forever.
leaking.
He's just leaking his head
That-
when that
you
that
remember
hair
that?
dye of his
Oh,
was
yeah.
just I love
And
it.
he was a real hero for a minute too after 9/11 and all that stuff. Like everybody loved him, and then ooh, you got to get a new barber, buddy.
Him and that Mr. Pillow guy. These are super villains. These aren't like politicians or just people. These are super villains. Giuliani, Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the fucking
There's a guy.
Slap chop guy.
the slap chop guy. Yeah,
I forget
He
the
was super villain.
slap
These are
chop.
super villains. You take a bunch of creeps, and if they say something nice about the current president, he'll give them a job in the government. Like, it's weird.
You know what I think is another really fucked up thing about politics? Well, I mean, there's a lot. A two-party system is a failure to democracy, I think, first and foremost. But I think the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is the expense just to run for office. Like, you got to pump millions of dollars into your campaign.
Yeah.
And then even during that time, like, you're not really working. You know, you're taking like 2 years off to fund this, to make your dream happen. And you may or may not get it. But it takes somebody of that caliber of wealth to come forth and say, hey, I can speak for the American people, when the American people are like,
We don't want a billionaire again.
yeah. And it's like you're a little out of touch. You know what I mean? Like you weren't scrubbing toilets.
Or they do
like,
grassroots, raise the money, get in, and then all of a sudden they went from, not being a millionaire to being a millionaire. Or Nancy Pelosi, where she has like better stock trades than the highest financial companies.
Right.
And then on top of that, with the two-party system, you have everyone shaming third-party votes. And until you stop doing that, third-party vote isn't going to mean anything, because people, no matter what side it is, they tell you you're taking a vote away from the other side. It's like, well, I don't like either side.
Right.
So if we stop shaming that, start building up third parties, maybe they get better candidates and more funding. Just a wild idea.
I'm
as
with
I
you,
was
brother.
on a break from conspiracy theories.
I never understood why, and I'm sure there's an obvious reason. This is just me not knowing this, but why, when they are running for president, they get all these donations, like $10 million, $12 million, $20 million. They raised $100 million for their campaign, and I'm like, what does that money go to? Is that marketing? Because I know.
Stays with the party, I think.
Does it stay with
I
the
think
party?
because that was like when Biden dropped out and then Kamala was able to use it. I don't know. I could be wrong about it.
But I'm just thinking, like,
I
if
think they can use it for themselves later too.
like I'm going to give you $20 million so you can run for president, and I would take that $20 million.
and run away.
No, and go and like instead of making 4-post signs or whatever,
4-point spikes.
4-point spikes, right?
Get it right.
Instead of putting money into that, I would like take the 20 and like go and feed. I would do actual shit with it, set people up and get the name out from that, as opposed to just putting signs that people are going to look at, drive by, pull out, tear up. Commercials, TV commercials, fuck that. Like, we all know who these people are. We all know what they're doing. Why do they keep getting more and more and more money?
When people keep giving it to them.
Keep giving
It's
it to
kind of
'em.
like,
But-
Kardashians. We kept rewarding bad behavior. And then that's what you get.
The worst.
The worst.
But anyway, I'm just
Vote
saying.
for Billy Whack.
Just give
got
me
my vote.
Give me $20 million. I'll get it. I'll get it
Sponsored
out to
by PBR.
And pubic moves.
And pubic
as
moves.
It would
the
be kind of
treasury.
cool to have a presidential
Even flow as vice
campaign,
president.
and it's sponsored by PBR,
shit.
the beer of presidents.
I just don't understand things, is what I'm saying.
Oh, we'll get there. I think we just focus on the show.
Yeah, all right. We got some.
Yeah.
We got to get to the show.
Make
right.
sure to vote.
September 14th. Yeah, I'll make sure.
September 14th.
All right.
Yeah, but I think that takes a lot of courage to admit sometimes. Like maybe I don't know a lot about it, and I think that's where a lot of failure happens with the American people is that people don't want to talk about it, and that becomes an issue because when you're not able to have a civilized conversation about something, that's when civil war happens. That's when like all these like bad things happen when people just can't be civilized and like agree. Like, yeah, you can have different political opinions than me,
People
but
get
like
really upset too. People get really upset if they only. Some people don't like talking to other people if they agree with everything. And I don't think I agree with everything with another person in the world.
Right.
Like everybody's got a different point of view. And the thing about politics that I like the best is everybody's wrong. Like everybody's wrong and right. Like there's no view that's completely perfect ever.
Right.
But people get on their high horse about it. Like, no, I know. And it's almost insufferable and you don't want to talk to certain people about it. And that's when Civil War happens.
That's when Civil War happens.
I love Civil War.
we don't want that.
No, we don't.
I think we're already having a Civil War. I think a Civil War is different.
It's a soft Civil War.
Instead
cold
of
Civil
like
War.
fuckers with muskets and stuff like that, where it takes 10 minutes to load it and you're looking at the guy as you're getting blam. The Civil War is different. These are the guns. These are the weapons.
Right.
Now it's
nowadays.
canceling people on.
It's canceling people. It's talking shit from behind one of these, saying things, getting bad intentions out into the world, and then not following up on them or answering for them, and just pissing people off, like groups and subgroups. And now, because of the internet, we have so many different things.
Right. It's a cyber civil war.
It's a cyber civil war, and we never expected that. We thought by now we'd have a flying car.
Right.
We didn't think we'd already have a global pandemic and some other fun shit, but this is where we are. These little wafers. These are the weapons of the future.
And it's really diminishing too, because it really fucks with people a lot. And I have a hot take on this, and some people agree with me. Some people are like, "Well, no, you should give a shit." But my take on it is that people shouldn't necessarily need to know all of the world's problems. Like you live in your own home, you live in a city, you live in a neighborhood, you live in a state, you live in a country that like needs more help than we're really given credit for. Like there's a lot of shit that needs to happen. Like fucking Ohio, for instance.
That's where I'm from.
Sorry, no offense, but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you know what I mean though. Like there
Yeah.
needs to be that infrastructure building, but it's like. As much as people want to, and I support people for vocalizing their opinions. This is a country that a lot of people fought for people to do that, and you should use that exercise to vocalize. But to the same point, it's like your day isn't necessarily going to be changed so much from something hundreds of thousands of miles across the world. Right
Local elections are more important sometimes, I think.
Right.
That's what I say all the
Yeah,
time. Dude.
yeah.
Get
Right.
more
Yeah.
involved in your local politics.
Even
Like-
here with aldermen.
Right. But like they don't glorify it. They don't make it
Yeah.
fancy. They're like, they're really not really hitting the heartstrings of people as much as they should. But like, and even like the fact that, the average human probably is going to know like maybe 1,000 people in their life, like maybe be able to name them or so. But like that's stimulation overload.
Yeah.
When you got so much flying at you,
Mm-hmm.
you doom scroll
Yeah.
for an hour and you're like, fuck, this is what the world is right
Mm-hmm.
now. I shouldn't, as like a human,
It's stressful.
need to know that.
And on
right?
top of that,
Right.
here, top news, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are fighting. I'm fighting with the guy over there. I have a problem with this or the food. I don't care about their petty problems, even though it's on a world scale and the trickle down will affect us all. But like, this is like petty shit between these two guys who I can't relate to.
Right.
Right.
They're out of touch.
Yeah.
They're out of touch, and they don't know what the really heartbeat of America is like.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. It's sad.
They walk around and there's people in front of them that are literally throwing them roses for them to walk on, metaphorically probably, but or who knows, maybe this is really happening. But so they don't know, they haven't really looked out the window, or they have and they're like, "Huh, these are my people." Like, but they haven't met them.
Right. Right.
It's terrible stuff.
Well, before we solve all the other world issues, do you guys got any other conspiracies that you're super into?
I like.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You first. If you
I was
got
I was just gonna say I like getting into the moon stuff. I'm really into NASA and the Apollo programs. Like my hometown in Ohio is where Neil Armstrong comes from. Like
Cincinnati?
We have Wapakoneta. It's close to Lima. So I really want to believe we went to the moon and all that, and I think we have been there. But my theory is that when people watched it on TV, that wasn't live. They weren't going to take that chance. They wanted to beat the Russians. It was a Cold War. So I think there's been a lot. You can go back and look at videos that were faked, but I think we've been there, just not in the way we've been told.
Really? Because I
You think we haven't at all?
No, I think the same. I thought when we talked about this before, you had something different. But you okay.
You know, I grow and I change. It could have been different.
I believe we've been on the moon. I just didn't think it happened that day.
Well, yeah, they weren't going to take the chance. Like, the first time ever, we're going to broadcast it live, and then like, it didn't work the way we thought, and their helmets imploded.
Right.
And there's a bunch of other little stuff you can go through, like the boots don't match the prints and the flag, and there's all that. The Van Allen belt, like you can really get into it. But I want to believe, because I love that technology. I love the Apollo 13 movie. I built my own spaceship under my bed with Lego hinges. And
Here's the thing: the spaceship you built under your bed in 1990 something probably had better technology than the ship they took back then. So that's why I don't believe that it happened that day. Like, how did they land? Who filmed them landing? Who was there first? There's a camera on a track.
There's all these videos about how they made the computers, and they had to hand weave them, and it's one of the most fascinating things. Like, people sat there and wove these. Basically, it was like magnets that wires were coiled through, and they'd coil them one way for a 1 and the other way for a 0, and that's how all the computers worked. And they had banks of these things, and it was like 1/1000th or 1/1,000,000th of what a phone. It's so awesome, and to think that they did all that and we didn't even go would break my heart.
Right. And if you think about aviation in general, that was it 60 years from the Wright brothers to when they got onto
Something
the
like
moon?
that, yeah.
That's not that much
Sorry
time.
about that.
That's wild.
That's not that much time. That's not
Yeah.
a whole lot of time. So, and you could totally say it was primitive. You know, like you said, there's more tech in our phones now.
Oh yeah, easily. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And people thought the Wright brothers were nuts, but I heard the other day that people were like, you're never gonna fly. You know, like back in the day, can you imagine? No one's ever flown yet, and there's got to be a group of people who are like, you can't do that. And I guess their whole thing and why they got ahead and did it before everyone else is because they took little bits and pieces from other people that were trying to do it. They're like, we like this idea, and they put them together and eventually succeeded. It was ingenuity.
Can't is the cancer of happen.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
A lot of people telling you can't do something. How about you, Billy Wack? What's your big conspiracy?
I am convinced that Magic Johnson never had HIV.
Hot take.
Never had it. He held a press conference to announce to the world that he had it. And this was at a time when nobody really knew anything about it. We know that you might live 10 more years, maybe, or something. We don't know. It was at a time when it was not a very popular thing to announce to the world you had HIV. His wife didn't have it, and like his newborn kid didn't have it, which I thought was like, oh, that's alarming. And he ended up being like Time Magazine's Man of the Year that year, and he ended up getting his own TV show. And it's like, why? Because you had all this promiscuous sex and got a death sentence disease? No. I just think he was made out to be like the poster boy for it, and there was like some weird politics and
He
stuff
owed
behind
somebody
it.
something.
He owed somebody something, and we're gonna do this. There are stories, but it's always been my belief because I watched it that night as a little kid. I'm like, why is this press conference on? Why is he telling people? It was just weird. It was really weird. And then here he is, all these years later, alive and thriving and healthy. And then it makes you look back and go, man, we all just got fucking sucked. Of course a guy who has HIV and then suddenly doesn't. Of course his name is Magic Johnson. It was right there in
Say
front
it
of
like
us.
that. Yeah.
It was right there in front of us. So
He made the HIV disappear.
he made it disappear. Talk about a Magic Johnson. It's more like H-I-G. Hey, it's gone. That's some magic.
Oh my god.
I could see that as a publicity stunt, or maybe even just to like, because you never know with a lot of these things. Sometimes it might be just somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings saying, hey, be the poster boy of this so people are more able to talk about it,
Right.
you know?
And but to be the poster boy for that, No, I don't want to do that. No,
Yeah,
no,
he owed-
you're gonna do
he
that.
owed a favor or something.
Okay,
Because
okay.
at that time, it was real tumultuous to, like, people were scared.
Because it's like 34 years later. And at the time he was making an announcement, people weren't living 34 years from it. People weren't, it was a death sentence. And he had to go out there and say it, and he all smiled, I cheated on my wife, boy, I'm sorry, hundreds and hundreds of women. And I'm like, what the fuck?
With my Magic Johnson.
With his Magic Johnson, right? Jesus.
I wish I had a Magic Johnson.
Hey, if you put your mind to it, anything's possible.
Speaking of Magic Johnsons and dreams, you were talking about dreams before and how you came up with that. It was so weird. I had a dream last night, and I had sex in that dream, but it was really weird because I had a condom on.
Wow. Wow. Was it a magic condom?
It was a magic one.
Your conscience is protective. So that's
Right?
good.
It was real weird when I got in a fight. I had sex.
What a dream.
I never know what my dreams mean, but keep them coming, God.
I never have dreams. I just don't anymore.
Maybe you're an NPC.
Whoa,
Did you have an inner monologue?
No. I just.
Oh, that's so good.
Inner
don't have
monologue?
inner monologue?
What?
Inner monologue is like, can you hear yourself talk in your head?
I talk out loud, though. I'll say it out loud.
But you can't hear, like,
I'm
can
on
you-
my way to
can
go
you-
pick up Alex.
Can you hear it in your head though? Because there's a theory that people that don't have inner monologue are NPCs.
No.
I would still love you.
It's a wild thought.
There's also people that can see sound and color.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I've
yeah.
heard of that, yeah.
Synesthesia,
Musicians.
I think synesthesia, something like that. And then back in the day, I used to do audio and stuff, and I never had anybody like this, but there was a guy I knew, and he did monitors for this guy once, and he was like, a little more blue. No, it's too red. He's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I guess you can look up a chart. Like everybody that has this, that's not colorblind, I suppose. It's like they reference these frequencies to this color and these frequencies to this color, and it matches
little more
between them.
blue.
So people with
little more
synesthesia
red.
say it's too red or too green or too blue. They all know what it is, supposedly. It's
So
crazy.
I told this story on this podcast already, but when I was younger, I would take a lot of hallucinogenics like acid, and so and I also play instruments. I play guitar. My buddy was playing drums, and we were just like mid-trip, and all of a sudden he starts playing something like a cymbal or whatever, and it's green. And he hits another tom, and it's like blue. And so I was able to match my sounds.
Nice.
So I'd be like, okay, he's playing blue. I got to play this blue note. I don't know what note it is.
It
but-
was like Guitar Hero for real.
yeah,
Real
yeah,
one.
yeah. That was
That's awesome.
4 tabs of acid. I also have I also have a theory that the government doesn't want you to do hallucinogenics because that's how the world really is, and when you're sober, it's like the government blocking what really is happening.
Another dimension.
I agree. I remember as a kid, if you would get hit in the head with a basketball or something, or on the bridge of your nose, you're alive for a second, and then it just sort of fades back into what we are. But you get rocked in the head, you kind of you see stars, but no, you kind of just. To me, it was always it kind of just woke up for a second.
I played
just goes back.
I played football when I was a kid, and this is back in the 90s. They called it midget football. It was 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, and we're having a scrimmage at practice, and this guy, this older kid, he had a brother there. He was hanging out with us, and I just remember we were roughhousing, and he just picked me up by my jersey and slammed me on the ground, and I it was almost like one of those experiences you hear where I lived weeks and weeks and weeks, but it was I was out for a second, and life flashing before your eyes almost are you're literally in a year-long dream in 5 seconds, and I woke up. I probably had a small concussion. The coach is just get in there, pussy.
Yeah. Back then, gym teachers didn't care.
I loved football because you could hurt another kid, and your coach would give you a pat on the back. It was at school, I get suspended for that.
Those were the 90s.
Those were the 90s.
90s. Oh, what a time to be alive. I fucking miss the 90s.
I missed the 80s.
What was the difference between the 80s and 90s?
The cocaine, was
cocaine.
better.
I was gonna say the music was better.
Yeah.
You think? Oh, I don't know.
I was-
It's
I
two
was
different-
there, man.
Two different kinds.
The
though.
toys were better, the music was better.
I like music from the '80s, and I love the sound of the '80s, the gated snare and all that. But '90s, I mean, shit, that was the grunge and Stephen Flow. Fun fact, after that show, my bass player in my band, Joe, went to Japan to see the Cubs play, like they do a show. And he met Eddie Vedder, because Eddie Vedder's a huge Cubs fan. He actually met him, and we were like, did you say anything about the song? He's like, I didn't want to start like international problems. I guess he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Has Eddie Vedder ever like talked about the Stephen Flow song at all?
Not that I've heard. Although, just because the way the YouTube algorithm is, like Even Flow popped up in our thing, so we put it on. We're watching the actual Even Flow, and then I went to the comments. I came here because of Stephen Flow. Yeah, Stephen Flow, Stephen Flow. And now there's like comments in the official Pearl Jam video, and I'm like, oh God,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
My mom, actually, it's funny because she just, I think today she sent me a picture of her radio, and it said Even Flow on there because she knows about it. Like when I was first telling her about it, she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't get it.
She finally knows.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it. You gotta be in on it.
Right?
Oh man. Well, hey fellas, we're getting about that time to
Yep.
kind of wrap up.
We did
here.
it.
This is a full 2 hours. We hit everything.
It was fun.
It was
Felt
fun.
like 5 minutes, like when I got knocked out.
Just live whole 2 lifetimes right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
It
And
really
this will be
flies
on
by.
your YouTube channel. And
Yep. It'll
I
be
think-
up on our YouTube channel.
I think were we live? I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys
on,
are currently
still
live
on,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
We got people tuning in too.
Yeah, we got a couple comments.
For those of you
Uh-oh.
guys stuck around with us, thanks for watching.
They're like, that guy in
Yeah,
a
thank you.
fucking hat.
We got a message from Emily saying howdy fellas with a cowboy hat. Also, my dad commented in. He said,
yeah,
"What time is
Dad."
your shift at the Foot Locker?"
Like, I just came from there.
Hey, my unemployment is none of your business. I'm kidding. No, thanks, Pops. Thanks for watching. We're getting about that point. Is there anything else that you guys want to send out to the world from watching this show?
Listen, go to the Spotify, go to our YouTube page. There's more to come. We just released an episode today.
So we're gonna release stuff every Wednesday, and then the show Sunday, September 14th. We do them on Sundays because we don't want to compete with anybody on Saturday. We're just staying out of the hold.
One thing too I'll say that I've realized is after it got popular, people started like scalping tickets. What's the best website to get tickets from?
We'll have a link. It's for
Yeah.
it's like Access.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be a link on all our stuff coming soon. It's supposed to literally drop maybe now. So I will get to a computer, and find out what's going on.
Well, we wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, moving forward. We're so excited to see what you guys have in store.
Thank you.
Your show is really something extraordinary, and we were really, really excited to have you guys on board. It's something that, I think Chicago needs. Chicago needs a lot more of this. It needs more, like you said, it's the burrito of Chicago. You got music, stage theater, improv, stage combat, some clowning.
Yeah.
There's so many elements that make your show unique and special, and you've given a lot of guys a lot of big starts. So thank you guys for being a platform for these guys
Thanks
to
for
go
having
up and
us, for
perform.
For sure. More to come. Forever.
Yes.
Well, please keep them coming. We really, really do enjoy them. And, nothing but the best of luck to you guys moving forward. And thank you guys so much for joining the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
We'll see.
Well, we're going to wrap things up here, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Hawkwind's Radio Picture Show, where we come to you live every Wednesday with new artists of new mediums throughout the city of Chicago. We got a lot of really cool stuff on board for you guys coming up in the future, including some live shows. We plan on doing a comedy show pretty soon. So be in the tune, be in the lookout. Also, the Superwrestlers, they're going to be at Concord Music Hall September 14th. Get your tickets while they are on sale. Check out their website. Share it with a friend. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please, again, share it with as many people as you can. It really means the world to us when you share it out, and it costs you guys nothing, and it means the world to us artists and all of the people that are featured on our show. Also, if you're interested, check out some of our other episodes as well. And if you're interested in being a part of the show, or you know somebody who's interested, please send us a direct message. Send them our way, we would love to have him on the show and get you featured and get your word out there. There's a lot of people out there with some good stories, and here at Hawk Wins, we are a platform for that, for you guys to come on up, tell your story, and give the people of Chicago a little taste of your medicine, baby.
Yes, sir.
Well, Jay Smooth, we're going to wrap it up here. You know, at the end of every show, we always tell people a little word of encouragement or a little message to send out. And do you mind if I take this one,
Go
brother?
ahead, bro.
Because I got a good one. I got a doozy of
Let
one.
him have
man.
it.
You know, I've felt like I've plateaued in my performance career recently, where I'm like, you know, like I love what I do. I love doing the extra shit. But I'm like, I gotta just learn new tricks. I gotta learn new skills. I gotta sharpen the stone a little bit. So I brought something.
Shit.
Oh, where'd my
What
bag
you
go?
got? What you got for us, bro?
This, my friends, is what I call Lynn.
Oh fuck.
This is a 4-foot performance hybrid whip that I purchased off Da Kitty Whips.
I don't know what I did to you, Jack, but please, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's only for good. It's only for good. I've picked this up as a new skill and a new hobby, and I'm only like a week into it, and I'm getting pretty fucking good at it, if I don't
Hell
say
yeah.
so myself, man. I'm doing back cracks. I'm doing my Indiana Jones whips. You know, one of the big reasons is because I wanted to take this on bike rides. I thought it would be really fun to just roll around like a cowboy and just fucking crack some whips.
In your Indiana Jones costume.
In my indie, well, I've got my own little character I'm working on right now. He's a dragon slayer, dragon tamer.
Whipper.
But I also thought it would be cool, like, you know, to like roller skate with it. So that's my piece of advice for everybody. If there's something in your life that you've always wanted to try to do, whether it be pro wrestling or whip cracking or singing or writing, whatever it may be, let this be your guide. Go out and do it, man. Make the investment. Give yourself some time to practice. Educate yourself on it. Educate yourself on all aspects of the thing that you're getting into. You know, you're living in a time and an age now where education is right at the end of your fingertips. I don't want to say I've learned other bad things on the internet, but I have. I learned how to spit fire from the internet. I've learned how to crack whips from the internet. I really want to encourage people to do it. You know, when I was a young kid, I was watching Indiana Jones and I fucking loved it. But you know what the truth is, brother? I've always wanted to be a whip cracker since watching the Blues Brothers.
Oh shit.
You know that scene when they're at Bob's Country Bargain or whatever, and they're playing the rawhide scene, and John Belushi cracks the whip. I've always just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So I'm doing it, baby. I'm doing it.
Man.
I'm gonna go to the Ren Fair this year, watch some of my favorite whippers, Adam Winrich, Tiny Girl Big Show, Leah Orleans, and Jacques Z Whipper. There's a lot of really great people out there that are pretty good at doing it, and again, it's a really cool community that you can find on the internet of people who are into the same things that you are. And like I said, it's right at the end of your fingertips. Go search for it, go figure it out, and go have some fun with it. Wear protection. Do it safely, though. Do it safely. You got any other words of advice for the folks out there listening?
No, man, I think that was a good one. You know, just try something new, learn something new. Don't be afraid to try anything new.
Yeah, especially those things you've always wanted to try. Because adult money is fun. You could be a little reckless with it to an extent. But yeah, if there's something that you've always wanted to try out, try it out, man. Try it out. Life is really freaking short, man. Make it a fun one. Make it a fun one. Don't be apologetic about it either. Just be good to each other. Just be good. So thank you guys again for watching us. Thank you to Billy Wack and Alex Fisher of the Super Wrestlers for joining us here tonight. I hope you guys had a fun time, and I know our listeners are really going to pick up a lot from this episode.
I hope so.
Thank you guys again so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So without further ado, you guys have a great night. We'll see you all